3, testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome one and all to Lakeside Stadium for the first instalment of the 2018-19 Victorian Milers event-specific track meetings. These meetings provide an opportunity for registered athletes of all ability to compete in a graded competition events from 800 through to 5,000 metres. Tonight's competition include 26 events starting with 14 800 metre graded events followed by 12 3,000 metre races. Conditions will remain cooler starting at 16 degrees before dropping to 11 degrees. Hello again and welcome for another season. Joining me in commentary tonight is Lyndon Hall, Michael Massini and James Coleman. Michael and James, I think you're up there now.
Yeah, how are you, Locke? Excited to be back for another season of Vic Milers Club. You, James?
Yeah, definitely. Certainly with the 3Ks here tonight. It's the only time of the season for the Vic Milers that we see the 3K exhibited, so it's always a great way for some of us athletes to start the season.
Yeah, definitely. A few races today, or tonight, the 800s in particular, the A races. Who do you think's looking good in the women's?
Yeah, well, hard to go by Gigi McEnany. She had a great all-schools campaign last weekend. She was first for the 400 and the 800, so yeah, she will certainly be hard to beat tonight.
Yeah, there's also Sky Alice in the field as well. She won the 800 and 1500 on the weekend, just a lower age group, so she'll be an exciting one.
Yeah, she looked really good from Geelong as well. Reminded me of a young Georgie Clark actually, so we'll be interesting to see what she's got in store tonight. Yeah,
absolutely. And in the men's, the A race, we have the South Australian and Sam Russell, who has come over for a run tonight.
Yeah, certainly, and Darcy Pound as well. So they had a good battle at the Vic Open Champs earlier in the year. Sam just got him, and I think that was where Sam ran his PB of 150. So it'll be good to see them duke it out again tonight.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be a very exciting one. But some even more exciting racing, I think, gets underway closer to 10 o'clock tonight. The A races for the 3Ks.
Yeah, they'll certainly be very exciting. Been looking forward to this one for a while, actually. We'll start off with the women. Natalie Rule is someone I reckon that we should all watch out for tonight. She had a really good run at the Noosa Bolt earlier in the week. She finished fourth there in a pretty quality field with the women, so I think she'll be out for something good tonight.
Yeah, she's been running very strong all season. Madeline Murray, though, she comes in with her best PB. And how about the men?
Yeah, certainly. Well, the men, this is something to be pretty exciting for. Last year, this was a cracking race. Ben Buckingham took it out in a really good finish over that last 100. So I'm sure James Hansen and Tom Forthorpe will be out for revenge tonight.
Yeah, they're all in the race tonight. So top four competitors will probably be aiming to go 1, 2, 3, but with strong competition from Harry Summers, the Box Hill athlete as well.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be very hard to beat. If anyone can do it, though, I reckon Cody Shanahan, he'll be the one to do that. He looked pretty good at the tan a month or so ago and had a stellar cross-country season. So
exactly.
For that.
Very exciting night ahead as we cross to the live feed about tonight. So we have the young athlete from Doncaster. Looks like he's wearing a Little Athletics uniform actually, charging towards the finish. The older, more experienced athlete from Old Scotch comes on his shoulder and takes the win here by a few metres in a time of 2 minutes 26 seconds to Doncaster and Mentone. Western Aths and Athletics, Essendon athletes close to follow as well.
So I expect that'll be David Leeton from Old Scotch. That was the one to take that out.
His runs in the family. His younger, or his children, Bart and Freddie, very accomplished runners already at their young age through little athletics and school events. So we can see where he gets it from now.
Like father, like sons. Yeah, you want to take a seat, Michael?
Oh, thanks, James. Well, you take one yourself.
So the next event on the track will be the men's H 800 metres. We've got Xavier McDonald from St Kevin's and Tom Pahalek from Whittlesea City, Craig Hewitson of Yarra Rangers, Mitchell Graham of Ringwood, Noah Thorpe also of Ringwood, Remy Williams of Doncaster, Mark Dowdy of South Melbourne, Ashton Sin of Doncaster, Brendan Drain of South Melbourne, and Fabio Aguirre of Collingwood.
So the time the top athletes are aiming for in this race, Xavier McDonald comes in with a PB of 2 minutes and 23 seconds, all the way down to Fabiano Aguirre from Collingwood, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So these athletes will probably be looking to go through in about 70 seconds, would you say, James? Give them a few seconds.
Yeah, I think 70 is certainly the way to do it. Go a little bit harder. Just the slow the second lap of the 800.
It's very hard to run negative split in 800s when you're running a PB. Can be done, it looks very good when it is done, but sometimes not the ideal way to run them.
David She'll certainly agree with that.
7 we have Doncaster runner Remy Williams, and in lane 8 South Melbourne Mark Dowdy. On your mark.
Alright, we're off and underway here for the men's H800. Looks like the youngsters of St Kevin's have got out pretty hard there, showing their enthusiasm for tonight. That's what we like to see.
The runners have settled down quite comfortably, making a chance to lead them over the field.
St Kevin's, so looks like that'll be Xavier McDonald. That's gone out for that early lead, and sitting closely behind him, that'll be Craig Hewitson. He certainly exhibited himself of some of the AV Shield competition throughout the year.
The looming figure of Mark Doherty as well from South Melbourne is just, I think he's looking very comfortable up on the shoulder there, the Yarra Rangers athlete.
So it's like Dowdy, Hewitson, McDonald for our first three.
So we'll get that split of the first lap, and we'll write about Doherty. He's looking very comfortable as he moves to lead in 68 seconds for that first lap. So he said they wanted about 70 seconds. He's given himself a couple more. We'll see if he can hold on to a good pace for this second lap.
I certainly reckon he will. He's looking pretty strong, very smooth, very relaxed.
See one of the athletes from Ringwood as well come and make a move on the bend. Not the best place to make a move. Running a little bit further, as we know. More lanes you run outside, don't we?
True, but if you're feeling good, go with it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think that's Mitchell Graham, actually, in Ringwood, the one making that move.
But have a look at Mark Doherty from South Melbourne. He's heading straight to PB Town. 2 minutes 26 is the time that we're looking at. And he's got plenty of time up his sleeve to do that.
Watch out though, Mitchell Graham, he's making another charge around the bend again.
I think Doherty is going to be too strong. Graham is getting closer and closer. Also, a young athlete from St Kevin's is holding on.
Mike and Graham could get him.
Doherty all the way, mate. 2:21 and a big PB of 5 seconds. A few PBs in that race as well. I think maybe the first 5 or 6 across the line would have got PBs just then, James.
Yeah, I reckon. And I reckon they've taken your advice too, that 70-second first lap. Giving himself a couple of seconds wiggle room.
Yeah, I did go down and tell them all before the race to just pace themselves through, so obviously did take my advice.
Yeah, have you coached before?
A couple of times,
Yeah, okay.
It is good to see even these lower graded Milers Club races, still opportunities to go for the win, no matter your ability. That's what's great about competing against people your own ability rather age group sometimes.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's good to see even the depth in these lower grades, just how close they are. You know, the seed times for that last heat, 7 seconds separating all the athletes. In this next heat, it's 5.5 seconds separating them all. So, perfect opportunities to get in and run fast here.
I've got the first of our women's races coming up in the women's E.
And Lyndon's here. Hi, Lyndon.
We'll get Lyndon Hall headphoned up pretty soon. The average PB of our commentary team was quite low until Lyndon has walked into the commentary booth, so we need to raise that a little bit. No Australian records yet between us, James, so...
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's this one, Michael.
Yeah, so
Field.
women's E-race competitors are Eleanor Brown, St Kevin's, Emily Chambers, Lauriston, Karima Wakim, Collingwood, Nice Males, Williamstown, Justine White, Chilwell, Chloe Johnstone, Carew Primary School, Genevieve Watson, Knox Athletic Club, Isabella McDonald, St Kevin's, Sophie Stokes, Ringwood, Michaela Wood, Sandringham, Madeline Bashrudin, am I saying that right, James? Thank you. Kushi Diol to finish off the field, so the athlete from Knox there. PB for the leading girl, 2:35. So what would you think that first lap should be? About 75, 76 we're thinking?
Yeah, something like that.
Around about that? Yeah, that was the advice that I gave them earlier anyway, so
give it to them again.
we'll see if they listen to that. All the way down to a 2:48 as well, so the field might be a little bit more spread out in this particular race. Once we get up to the higher graded races, we'll see they'll be much closer bunched. So Jen Watson from Knox has taken it out pretty quickly, and he's going to be first to the changeover point. Good Haileybury athlete, Jen. Been working on her technique over the winter, and it's showing so far in this quicker race. Good coaches down at Haileybury, I reckon, James.
Yeah, that's what the word on the street is anyway.
So Jen taking it through the 200 mark in first place, 34 seconds. So pretty quick to go out.
Is she one of the athletes you work with, Michael?
Oh man, I didn't want to bring it up, James, but yeah.
Well, you didn't bring it up. I brought it up.
And I thank you. So we have Jen Watson in first place. A bit of a thick pack behind her. We said it was going to be a bit spread out, and we do see a few athletes towards the back of the field, but out the front, really it could be anyone's race at this point. Nisa Males as well, right there. The athlete from Chilwell. And what's that first split, James?
So 73 seconds, again, bang on your tip for the PB.
Just hope it's not too quick.
Yeah, let's hope not. Now, there's a move being made here. That's coming from St. Kevin, so there'll be Isabella McDonald, who's made a bold move. Again around the bend. She doesn't mind.
Could even be Eleanor Brown. She is the highest seeded athlete in this race. 2:35 is her PB.
I think you might be right. So apologies, that'll be Eleanor Brown, who's made that brave move on the back straight, and she's opened her lead up to a solid 10 or so metres now. She's not looking like she's going to be beaten, that's for sure.
And she's got a whole 45 seconds to make it home to get a PB tonight.
Yeah, I reckon she'll do it. She's got 25 seconds in this last 100 to get herself a PB. So it'll be Eleanor Brown of St. Kevin's. She's shown it to the field over this last lap. And she's going to run just under 2:30, so that'll be about a 5 or so second PB for her.
Yeah, big PB. Emily Chambers from Lauriston Girls' School in second place, the athlete wearing all black, so she would have got a PB as well, well under that 2:35 mark that she was seated with tonight.
Yeah, that's great to see, because that's what Milers is all about, just rocking up, having a good dig and hoping to get a PB.
Going all the way to PB town.
Yeah, that's it. So, our next race will be the men's G 800 metres. In this field we'll have Robert Jones of Deakin Athletic Club, Mehdi Hassani of Mornington Peninsula, Justin Hanrahan of Mentone, Rayman Jansen of Athletics Waverley, Daniel Malone of Knox, Jared Adams from Williamstown, Patrick Rechko of St. Kevin's, Peter Costanzo of Ringwood, Lachlan Grimer from Emmanuel College, Archer Wiltshire of Athletics Chilwell, and Max Thompson from Doncaster Athletic Club.
Ben for the men's 800 metres G. Predators at 5:91 minutes.
So do you want to call them in, James?
I've already done that.
Who's your tip though, is what I meant. You think I'm not concentrating?
Yeah, maybe.
That's Lachlan Grimm.
Well, look, going off Cup weekend and everything, you can't pick the favourite, right? So Robert Jones of Deakin, he's got the fastest seed time in this of 2 minutes and 17.5. But going with my partner betting, I'll go for the second favourite, and that's Mehdi Hassani from Mornington. So
Yeah, okay.
season's best is 2 minutes 18.
No worries. How did that pattern go for you on the weekend?
Not that well.
Let's see, so 2:17 is the time that we're aiming for. Half that, what are we looking at for a first lap? About a 68. 68 times 2.
Oh,
2:16
on the inside. He's out to a strong start. That's he's wearing a little athletic singlet too.
That'll be Peter Costanzo from the Ringwood Athletic Club there, who makes it first, or amongst the first to the line, break line.
Yeah, there'll be Rayman Jansen, who's taking the field out. And a big move here from Knox. So that'll be Daniel Malone, who's charged here in the front position.
I hope he knows it's an 800 race.
Yeah, maybe he likes it out front. This is spread out nicely, so that's usually when we can tell that the pace is on from the get-go. It's not all bunched up in. So Rayman Jansen sitting in second. He's looking pretty comfortable. A nice long stride. In fourth, Patrick Richenko. I reckon he's looking pretty cruisy right there. What do you think, Michael?
I think he is, and we said a 68 would be pretty comfortable to go through, and they've gone through in a 64, so If they are running even splits, of course, that gives them a 2:08, but I think that might be a bit hard for the pack, who has PBs all above 2:17. But the athlete from Knox in Daniel Malone does hold his lead into the back straight there.
It'll be Max Thompson now, he's taking over.
Raymond Jansen right there as well, the athlete from St Kevin's, not letting him get away. They just become more and more spread out as the race goes on. It's not really pack or tactical running at all. Everyone's out there for a bit of a time trial style race tonight, James.
Yeah, and as I said before, it's exactly what it's all about. All these athletes want to run fast times, and I think that's what Max Thompson will do.
So Max has actually come in with the lowest seed time out of the whole field. So, like the Melbourne Cup, couldn't pick it, could you?
Yeah, exactly. He would have had long odds, so and he'd been very happy if you put your money on Max Thompson right now.
He's going to get a huge PB or season's best tonight. 2:14.3, which is 9 seconds faster than the time he quoted to enter tonight. So massive PB or season's best for Max. Raymond Thompson as well coming in through second.
Yeah, Raymond Jansen that was, and then I believe in third place was Patrick Shenko of St Kevin. So I wouldn't be surprised if all three of those athletes walk away with PBs and or season's best, depending on how many put in.
With PB for Rayner Thompson, the broadcast runner.
This time he's PB from 2:20 down to 2:14. Massive PB there, thanks from Doncaster Athletic.
And we've got Lyndon joining us now. Welcome, Lyndon.
Thank you.
How
Thank
you
you.
going?
Good. Just been testing out the track before our races get underway. Just
Yeah, what's it like out there? Is it much wind around? Or?
Oh, for a lakeside night, not too bad.
Yeah, that's good. Milers always seem to get good nights, I reckon.
Yeah, always good conditions here. Those hot, sweaty afternoons, Lakeside Stadium on a summer's night.
Does always tend to drop as the evening go on. So the 3K guys should get the nice still conditions.
Yeah, it's anything like last year. That was so good.
Some big racing ahead. Okay, Lyndon, do you want to call in the guys in the men's F race?
Yeah. Alright, so lane 1, Angus Norman. Lane 2, Ben Grimes. Lane 2, Jai Hadfield. Lane 4, Eamon Murphy. Lane 5, Benjamin Purser. Lane 6, Alex Hanna. Lane 7, Tristan Mione. Lane 8, Camden Hewittston. And rounding in our field, Jared Shikoski. Sorry if I butchered that. And pretty close spread of boys here between 2:13 and 2:16 season best.
That's super close. 2.2 seconds on the fastest.
And away in his F division, 800 metres. Pretty much field, the base lane is working his way to the front. He's all black on the outside. As he makes his way there, lots on the other front can also lead the race. So move down the back straight.
All right, why don't you tell us what you see, Michael? I see the big man in the black T-shirt out the front. Yeah, so that's good of him. It's always good to have our pacemakers at Milers Club meets. There's a couple of athletes from Knox who are up towards the front of the field tonight. So Ben Grimes from Knox does lead around in a 62-second first lap. 2:14 is the time he's going for, so has plenty of time up his sleeve. Let's hope he hasn't gone out too hard, James.
Nah, and his teammate wants to get right after him. That'll be Jai Hadfield. So do you reckon we'll see a Knox 1-2 here, Lyndon?
Oh, it's looking pretty good at the moment, but there's a couple moving from the back. It looks like a yellow Doncaster stinglet.
Jai Hadfield, good little athletics boy from Berwick Little Athletics Centre. Pretty proven athlete over the 8 and 1500 metres, so he is up on the shoulder of his teammate Ben Grimes right now as they enter the front straight.
They're duking it out. Jai Hadfield right on his shoulder. He's ready to pounce over this last 100. So Hadfield, will he have enough to hold him off?
Might need a better finish here.
Oh. Yeah, Hadfield's got him. 206.
Fair PB for the lads and everyone else coming through as well. The next three competitors all under the 2:13 of our fastest seated time from that heat tonight.
Yeah, so you must be right, Lyndon. It's got to be good conditions out there. They're running fast already. Well, I'm excited for later.
These early races, you know, you sort of enter with a mildly conservative time. You're not really sure where you're at, but if you've had a good winter, you might come out and surprise yourself.
Yeah, that's right. The first race of the season jitters, which it may be for a few of our athletes.
Yeah, I'm sure plenty of the young kids have had a lot of school competitions and a few rounds of shield, but this is sort of the first, distance meet.
Yeah, that's right. Certainly in the later heats, I know there's a bunch of the girls and guys that ran at all schools over the weekend, so I'm sure they'll be hitting good form and ready to go.
Guys, I'm going to jump in here.
Okay, so competitors in the men's E 800 metre race. We have Noah Wright from Nunawading, Robert Barber from Old Scotch, Liam Werrett from Collingwood, Spencer Storen from Knox, Ben Spina, Western Athletics, Oscar O'Connor, Doncaster, Harvey Mason, Geelong Guild, Luke Sin, Doncaster, Neil Brennan, Mentone, Adam Hanna, Melbourne Uni, and Fred Leeton, Old Scotch, the son I was talking about earlier, James.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you reckon he'll be inspired by his dad's performance earlier?
I think so. Pretty good run from his old man in that first heat of the night tonight.
Yeah, it'd be a good drive home if they all walked away with wins, wouldn't it? I reckon it's worth mentioning that 5 of these athletes have all run or put down 2:10, so...
What do you mean run or put down, James? You don't think they're putting down their PB?
No, they might be putting down what they expect to run early in the season. Season's best, or personal best.
So our range is 2:10 to 2:13. So 63, would you say, for the first lap would be pretty comfortable?
Yeah, I reckon if they go through something like that, they'll certainly be looking for PBs, and you've pretty much been on the mark all night. So...
Okay, Lockie, we'll head over to you on the back straight there for a bit of calling on the ground.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I am down here at 200 metres as the athletes do go straight past me. It's our 4476 Robert Barber from Old Scotch Collegians who's going to sit right in there just behind the pacemaker.
Same pacemaker as the race before as well. Might be just doing a bit of a session out there tonight.
Yeah, be getting a good workout if he's...
knocking out a few 600 reps.
Yeah. I reckon you could be on the mark with 63 through this first lap.
That may have been the instructions given, so
2,
he's a good guy.
3, bang on.
So the athlete from Doncaster and Luke Sin, I believe. Was that Luke? We have a couple of Doncaster athletes.
That's
Might be Oscar O'Connor, actually.
2281. He has extended the stride now.
And Locke will join you again as we see the athletes coming back down the back straight for the second time.
Yeah, it is Oscar O'Connor here from Doncaster that's extended his lead by about 20 metres as he does come into about 1 minute 40 with about 150 metres to go. I think it's going to be his race to lose from here.
So 1 minute 40, only 30 seconds for that last 200. Might have his work cut out for him, but He might get just about there as the rest of the field are charging through, but it's a massive, massive gap to our leader and winner in Oscar O'Connor.
And Adam Hanna, I want to point out that huge finish. He came in third, Adam Hanna of Melbourne Uni, but he was sitting right at the back with 1:20 to go. Timed his run really well.
It's always kind of good. We get a bit carried away by looking at the leaders, but it is good to see athletes who do charge through the field as the race goes on, just chasing that every last second, picking up every person as well.
Yeah, that's right. So the next race that we have will be the men's D 800. So we've got Craig Sanford of Athletics Waverley, Jared Cripps of Diamond Valley, Oscar Mazaraki of Geelong Guild, Benjamin Baisha of Old Scotch, James Dean of Ringwood, Jack Coltish of Geelong Guild, Rupert Clemenger of Box Hill, Tim Hall from Victorian Cross Country League, one of the new clubs to feature in this XCR season.
Takes it on the track, event 7. It's a big one. Lane 1, Tim Hall.
So boys, while they are introducing the competitors down here in stadium, just want to talk about the conditions. Quite a cool night, not too bad for distance running though, so that wouldn't be stressing them out too much, but they would be getting a bit of a headwind going into the front straight and down the front straight for the final time. So
again,
on the back
pretty
track,
tight spread throughout all these athletes.
On the back track they'll be running with the wind, so they'll be enjoying that.
As I was
but
saying,
coming
a
into
pretty
the front
tight spread
straight,
with these
they will be
athletes. Yeah, 4
running
seconds
into the headwind.
separating them all. So 2:06 of Craig Sanford from Athletics Waverley. That's the fastest seed time. And then David Page of Victorian Cross Country League is 2:10. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this one.
And our pacemaker is back for a third race, so probably looking to go a little bit quicker than the last one as our heats speed up.
Yeah, what's your call, Lyndon? Michael's been on the spot
Yeah, I
all
reckon I'm
night
looking
so
for
far.
a 60-61 maybe, if we try and run some PBs.
Yep, all right, you heard it. So from Diamond Valley, that'll be Jared Cripps. That's got out to a start, and he's going to make the pacemaker do some real work.
The pet hate of Tim Crosby, the person who goes out in front of the pacemaker, is he'll really grind his gears.
And that'll be Ben Baisha of Old Scotch, who's sitting in third place. And looks like he wants to move around, perhaps the pacemaker. Or does he just want to get to the bell sitting first? Yep, that's smart. He's tucked in behind the pacer. So it'll be Baisha from Cripps to Sanford. That'll be our first three as they go through. Lyndon, spot on.
And our first three are really clear, so it'll be interesting to see if they've gone out a little above their heads or whether they're spot on and know they're on for a PPE.
Yeah, it does seem to be the first three that are gapping the field, but there is a move coming further back from our Melbourne Uni athlete. That'll be Peter Gorkroger.
I reckon he could be a wise old distance man, just confidence in his ability, just taking on the field as the race goes on.
Yeah, the perfect even split, but
Jared Cripps has gone to the front now. He's sat back and played his card smart, and looks like he's opening up a tiny bit of a gap as we come into the straight.
I reckon Sanford's coming back pretty hard. Watch out for this on the home straight.
Remember, they're running into this headwind now, so it does make it that extra hard.
Oh, Cripps does the cheeky head look. And a little fist bump over the line.
And he's just dipped under his season best or his entry time here, so he should go home pretty happy.
Another race, another PB. How is that? How good is Milers Club?
So good.
Jared Cripps, $100 win. What do you think about that?
Oh, is that the cash prize race?
That was the old Tim Crosby random incentive race. So every meet this season, they did it every meet last season as well from memory. They pick a random race at the start of the night, and the person who wins that race gets $100 cash. So not bad for the young fella there.
Yeah, that explains things perfectly. That's why he was flying up that first 200. He wanted to get out the field and get himself $100.
It's all about the money, not the PB.
Yeah, $100 for when you're a young kid. That'll go a long way.
So there is some prize money incentive as well for the A races later on tonight based on position and finishing time. So it'll be interesting to see if any of the boys and girls later on can go under that and win themselves some cash here.
Yeah, do we have a confirmation on what they are? Because I'm pretty sure the men's is like an 8:01 or 8:02 for the 3K. But
Yeah.
that's about all I know.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that before we get to those A races. We'll make sure we touch base and let the audience know what the times are to beat.
Sounds good. Want to call this one for us, Lyndon?
Sure, we finally got some girls on the track, which is great to see. So lining up in our women's D800 is Roxy Phipps of Box Hill, Celeste Mucci of Williamstown, who you may know from the Com Games, Amy Lane of Western Athletics, Ruby Crisp of Ringwood, Ella Stiles of Geelong Guild, Emma Wilson of Yarra Rangers, Catherine Foley of Box Hill, Georgia Muller of Western A's, Emma Spiteri and Isabel Young of Athletics Essendon, and Grace Flanagan as an invitation athlete. And they're already off down the back straight, and it looks like we've got a group of about 4 who have started to break away. So
It is Georgia Muller from Western Athletics who's taken out that early lead as well, Lyndon.
Good eye, good eye. A really tight bunch at the front here. It's hard to really pick who has taken the lead.
Running pretty wide on the bend as well, as you mentioned before. Might be necessary in some races, but not ideal. You always sort of want to run closer to the rails, don't you? Run less distance, Lyndon.
Yeah, I'm not particularly good at that myself, so I can relate to these girls running a bit wide. But it looks like one of our Box Hill athletes who takes the lead at the bell as we go through in about 71 seconds.
Which is a pretty good split if they're heading for a PB. Amy Lane does take on the field though and make her way to the front with about 350 metres to go.
Yeah, and they head down the back straight in single file. So it'll be interesting to see how much movement we get through here, remembering that back straight is probably the more protected part of the race.
Keep an eye out on Ruby Crisp as well from Ringwood. She does look pretty comfortable there in second place, so it will be a bit of a battle for the last 200 metres here.
So Ruby Crisp in second, Lockie's pick. Keep an eye on her as she makes her way on the shoulder of Amy Lane as they pass the pole vault mats, and nudging just ahead of Amy from Western Athletics as they enter the front straight. So it's Ruby Crisp from Ringwood, Amy Lane from Western Athletics, the young athlete from Box Hill, and Catherine Foley to round out the top 3. Amy Lane is not done just yet. The experience is showing. She's bided her time, just waited, let Ruby do her thing, and is nudged towards to take out this women's D800 in a time of 2 minutes and 25 seconds. A few seconds clear of her PB as well, if you don't mind.
Oh, got too distracted watching who was going to get that win, and I forgot to even look at the clock.
Not a bad time. Ruby would have gotten a PB there as well by a couple of seconds in the 2:26s. So some pretty good racing tonight. Each race has kind of been a bit different though. We've seen some tactical pack racing. We've seen some athletes taking it from the gun. Wouldn't have minded seeing a pacemaker in that one as well. So not all races are able to have a pacemaker. I think it's a bit of luck of the draw, unfortunately.
Throwing a girls race in there has given our male pacer a bit more recovery time. So we'll see if we'll have him back for another race.
He actually does look like he's there talking to the boys at the start of the men's C race, I think we've got next. So, yeah.
The worst thing about this gig is they're getting faster as he's going to get tired. So it'd probably work better the other way.
To bit of an interesting session he's made for himself. Good bloke though, we appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if there is anyone out there that wants to pace and help out future Milers Club meets, I believe you get a free entry for the next meet. So it's good thing to do.
Yeah,
help
pace
the
one,
others
get
out.
one.
Okay, so I'll read out the competitors for the men's C race here tonight. With a season's best of 2:02, we have Ethan Sin from Doncaster, Sam Bunnage from Mentone, Nathan Crowley, Hobson's Bay Running Club, Michael Geese from Old Melburnians, Nick Parkinson, Melbourne Uni, Jacob Pearson, Athletics Nunawading, Alistair Perkinson, Melbourne Uni, Thomas Sheridan, Ringwood, Jordan Walker, Ballarat, Mark Andrews, Invite Athlete, and Ethan Grills from Geelong Guild. So 2:02 to a 2:06 is the spread of PBs or season's best in this C race tonight. So I would like to think that a couple of these boys are pretty keen to break 2 minutes for the first time and may have requested a 59 seconds. What do you reckon, Lyndon?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Everyone tends to have been going out pretty hard that first lap. Seems to be a bit of a theme. So probably set to continue here.
I actually do wonder what the PB set of this pacemaker is. He's doing a very good job and just wondering how quick he can go. Is he going to be running 54, 55 seconds for our men's A race later? Okay, running almost in a perfect line. All the men running past that discus cage, 100 metres in, and past the bollards almost in unison. The pacemaker will be working hard to make it to the front of the field here. The runner from Old Melburnians not too far behind him, Michael Geese. He'll sit in just behind the pacemaker as we settle in over 200 metres. And the PB is only 4 seconds apart, so everyone is fairly bunched up in this field.
Which is exactly what we're seeing. Very much like that last girls' race where they're all quite bunchy and quite a few are a bit wide.
So we have the athlete from Ringwood who's sort of moving forward, finding a bit of space for himself. Melbourne Uni athlete in Nick Parkinson has made his way to cross the line in first place as we go through our first lap. 60 seconds was that, Lyndon?
It was about that, so pretty much on track for us to run some PBs if they can hold on pretty well.
Sammy Bunnage, the good Haileybury athlete from Mentone Athletics, just up on the Old Melburnian shoulder, and he's ticking his legs over very, very quickly in that back straight. He's run a couple of good 8s and 15s this APS season so far and looks to run a PB tonight in the 800. The athlete from Melbourne Uni has unfortunately pulled out at the 200 metre mark, but it is all Sam Bunnage here in this race tonight, followed by the athlete from Doncaster, I believe. So Sammy Bunnage, first to enter the straight, and he's 153, 154. Will he get under the 202 that he's been aiming for tonight? I think he's going to be very, very close. 201, 202.1 from Sam Bunnage, the athlete from Mentone, followed by Ethan Sin in Doncaster. About 203, 204 there, I think. So we're just getting into some pretty quick racing here tonight. And the PBs aren't coming as easy. So where it gets a bit more interesting. And James, do you want to read through our next race?
I sure will.
Welcome back, mate. What were you doing? Fixing yourself a cup of tea or?
Yeah, just having a bit of a snack.
Yeah,
Get
okay.
us one.
Hungry. Well, sorry guys, next time.
Yeah, noted.
Noted. Come on, mate, give us a spell. Anyway, next race is the Women's C 800 metres. We've got Megan Dean of Victorian Athletic League, Hayley McGoldrick of Box Hill Athletic Club, Janae Mackrell of Western Athletics, your Milers Club.
Yeah, good old Western Aths guys. Shout out.
Matilda Strugnell of Sandringham. Maddie Holstrom, also of Sandringham. Grace Muller of Yarra Rangers. Mia Stradley of Yarra Rangers. Cassie Deeg of Athletics Chilwell. Sana Baker of Doncaster. Sally Holzeder of Knox. And Jacinta McFarlane of Geelong Guild. So 5 seconds separating these athletes, and Deanna Megan is, well, actually there's 3 of them that have all run 2:22.0, so this is a hard one to pick.
Let's go Western Athletes.
Yeah, fair.
Janae Mackerel, I reckon. Yeah, Western Aths for the win.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much bias?
Yeah, about a 10.
10.
Yeah.
100.
Houston Stevens athletes out there tonight as well, James. Your club?
Yeah, they'll be out there.
Yeah, maybe in the later distance races, pure distance guys and the guys and girls in the St Stevens.
Yeah, we do pride ourselves a bit of a distance club.
So we'll throw down to...
Thanks, guys. Yes, I am down here with Sam Bunnage, winner of that last race. Sam, a great run. Ran a lot on your own there from the last 400. Talk us through it just quickly.
Well, I felt good with the lap to go, so just went at 300. Usually I blow up like 600 to go, but felt good then, so yeah, pretty happy with that.
So 2:02.19, so that is a PB as well, so congratulations. We'll get back to this race, but good job. I'll let you go have a break.
Yeah, thank you. So,
So it was Holzeder who got out pretty strong from Knox, but she's just sitting in 3rd now. It looks like she might attack to try to get to that bend in a good position. Always a bit harder with the girls with the crop tops. You can't see the colours as clearly. That looks to be from Box Hill, who's leading at the moment. So it'll probably be Hayley McGoldrick. So Hayley McGoldrick leading.
Holzer from Knox as well, I believe, right there.
Yes, and Jacinta McFarlane of Geelong Guild. She's the one sitting neck and neck as they go through the first lap.
They're pretty dead on that PB pace of our front runners in these groups, so hopefully we can hold on this second lap. They are starting to spread out just a little bit more.
Yeah, McGoldrick's looking pretty good. She's really starting to open up that stride now. So we McGoldrick from McFarlane. And from Sandringham, that'll be either Matilda Strugnell or Maddie Holmstrom.
Need our binoculars up here.
Oh, lucky we got some.
All right, who is it then?
Hang on, give me a second.
There we go, binoculars. Matilda Strugnell will go. Yep, good. But we turn our attention. Hayley McGoldrick from Box Hill has charged towards the front. She takes the lead into the front straight. 2:11, 2:12. What time is she heading for? 2:22. Looks like she'll get there.
A big charge on the back straight.
And a 2:21 from Hayley McGoldrick. 1 second PB. The athlete from Sandringham.
Maddie Holmstrom.
Maddie Holstrom. Got it wrong. Sorry, Maddie.
Sorry, Maddie, but great run.
And Janae Mackerel, the athlete from Western Athletics, woo, in 3rd place there. So it's been good to see a fair few younger athletes as the races get actually quicker. There's a few good up-and-coming young athletes there in these quick races chasing PBs.
Yeah, and certainly in this next race as well. There's a bunch of the boys that raced on the weekend in the Vic All Schools. So watch out for Jean-Philippe Soulier.
JP.
Yeah, that's it. Of Old Scotch. He was 3rd in the 800 in the under-17s.
Yeah, a pretty good race at the APS competition back in October as well.
Yeah, okay. So he's probably in pretty good form at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say so. Robert Wheats from Western Athletic, no bias once again, but he did come 2nd in the under-20 steeplechase, so a bit of an endurance man around the 800 tonight. And we might call out the names in this men's B race. So we had JP or Jean-Pierre Sully from Old Scotch, Eamon Wright from Nunawading, Harrison White from Western Athletics, Oliver Wiltshire from Athletics Chilwell, Jack Polkinghorn from Old Scotch, Joe Sexton from Old Zavarians, Robert Wheats from Western Athletics, Ben Kelly from Glen Huntly, another super endurance man in Ben Kelly from Glen Huntly, and Lachlan Attard from Athletics Essendon. I'll throw it over to you, Lyndon and James.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Ben Kelly goes here, because he's had a pretty good cross-country season and he's definitely fit, but that's over the longer stuff, so this will be some good speed work for him.
It's always a shock when you come down to the 800, and I don't even run as far as Ben, so I can understand how that feels.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It looks like our two Old Scotch runners have gone to the front.
Yeah, JP and Jack Polkinghorn, they're the two Old Scotch athletes, and let's see if they can work well together.
Yeah, and these school athletes definitely have had the advantage of already having some really big comps to find some form ahead of some of our more senior athletes who are just starting to get into things.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the 800s were actually pretty exciting over the weekend at all schools. There were some pretty close battles. Look out for Western Athletics there, Michael.
Yeah, Harrison White came fifth at all schools on the weekend, and his PB that he's been seated with tonight, 1:59. So he'll go close.
Got through at about 60-61, so they'll probably be looking to have a big second lap here.
Yeah, we better watch out for JP Soulier of Old Scotch. And there's a big move being made on the outside now. That'll be Eamon Wright of Athletics Nunawading. He just blown open this pack. And Ben Kelly, look, there he goes. Who would have thought that this is a half marathoner right now? He is flying. Look at those legs go. Come on, Ben.
Definitely got more racing experience than some of these younger athletes, so definitely using that to his advantage right now. Sat back.
Yeah, that's it.
He literally looks like the Roadrunner with those quick legs just going.
Come on, Kelly. But it'll be Eamon Wright. He does look very strong, and he was the one that blew open the pack, so a gutsy effort, and he deserves the win, and that's a 158.7 to Kelly. And then the two Western athletes.
As expected.
What's the plural for Western Athletics members?
Western athletes. Or Western Athli. No, it's Western athletes. Yeah. Very good racing. That was pretty exciting. Now we're getting into some very tactical racing. Everyone's pretty much within a few metres with 300 metres to go there. So it's getting exciting here at Milers Club, guys.
Sure is, and it always does.
So next up we have the women's B race, but before we go, we'll head over to Rayner, who has the winner of the men's B.
Thanks, guys. And yes, I am here with the winner of that men's B 800 metres, Eamon Wright. A strong, gutsy last lap there. You left your run a little bit late, but came over the top in the end. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had a bit in the tank. 200 to go. I thought I'd just go all guns blazing. Ended up well. I felt so strong. I thought I'd be weak, but it's looking good. Hopefully PB soon.
Well, a strong performance, 158.2 last week at Shield, so you're on a roll for the start of the season, so good luck for the rest of the season, and we'll throw back up to the commentators for this next race.
Thanks, mate.
All right, now women's B 800 metres are starting to line up, so we're getting speedier and speedier. So lining up, we have Indigo Lind from Yarra Rangers, Mia White, Western Athletics, Hannah Williams of Doncaster, Cassidy Bradshaw of Athletics Chilwell, Carla Dreyer of Box Hill, Sophia Hanlon of Glen Huntly, Alyssa Ramsdale of Doncaster, Ashley Tregus of Box Hill, Amelia Breville of Mentone, Mia Skerry of Sandringham, and Lexi Alaferi of Western A's. And again, a whole bunch of girls who were in action at all schools over the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. And certainly having a very big weekend was Mia Skerry. She won the gold in the 400 high jump, long jump, and discus. And now is running the 800.
Yeah, potential apt athlete there.
I don't want to go on about Hailery too much. However, at the APS day, she was amazing. I think she did almost every event for our team. She's a through and through multi-eventer and very accomplished in multiple events. So definitely a good distance runner today.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's good to see the versatility. There's actually another one of our athletes, Cassidy Bradshaw. She won all schools on the weekend for pole vault.
And she's right there at the front of our race there.
Yep, that is talent.
She's also a very good hurdler and sprinter as well, so she's pretty versatile, Cassidy.
Yeah, so Bradshaw and Scary showing their versatility here as they lead through the first lap.
In what could be their 400 metre PBs in about 65 seconds.
It's on.
So
They've certainly strung out, haven't they?
they have a 2:18 they're heading for, the leaders, and I believe that is Indigo Lynn. The camera's just blocking her a little bit, but could be Indigo Lynn on the outside of Mia Scary. And chasing Cassidy Bradshaw, just getting up on her shoulder as well. Actually, that might be Carla Dreyer from Box Hill.
Yeah, Dreyer's looking pretty smooth at the moment. She ran a 2:29 at all schools on the weekend, so I reckon she's going to get well under that.
Yeah, Carla Dreyer did, but that's actually Ashley Tregus. Now they'll look closely. Now I've got my binoculars on. So Ashley Tregus in second place behind Cassidy Bradshaw, who just extends her lead further and further towards the finish. The sprinter in Cassidy is truly coming out as she runs through in a strong time, 2:15 and a few second PB. Ashley Tregus of Box Hill will collect a PB there as well, as the athlete from Doncaster stumbles over the line. Our multi-eventer in Mia Scary not too far behind in fourth place there. Ticking through them now, aren't we?
There we are.
I think we definitely had a handful of PBs in there, even after some girls coming off for a big weekend at all schools.
Yeah, definitely. They were sharp and ready to go.
That's just the young athletes there. I think sometimes they tend to bounce back pretty quickly and can stack a few races together without getting too tired, I think. As long as the recovery is all right, they tend to bounce back pretty well.
Oh, you.
Next up, we have the men's A race in the 800, but we're going to throw to Lockie just quickly for an interview of Cassidy Bradshaw.
Yes, thanks, Michael. I'm down here with the winner of that last race, Cassidy Bradshaw. Cassidy, a great run. A couple of seconds PB as well. 2:15 there through unofficial. 2:18. Tell us through that run.
Well, I felt pretty good. I was pointed to go. I just felt good, so I went and just tried to hold on.
Well, you definitely did that. You were fighting on your own for quite a bit of that race, so a phenomenal performance. I'll let you go and get a race. We do have this race that we're about to get on the ground, but congratulations again and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So, men's 800, we have Sam Russell of South Australia, Darcy Pound of Box Hill, Dylan Burrows of Frankston, Eric Sapak from Preston, Lachlan Hurd of Casey Cardinia, Joel Donner of Athletics Nunawading, Jack Stummer of Box Hill, and Harrison Van Duren of Yarra Rangers. The sun starts to come over and we see some shadows over the back straight there. The time that the top guys will be heading for, about a 1:49.9, is the PB of Sam Russell of South Australia, who looks like to be at the back of the field right now, if I'm seeing things correctly. Actually, no, I'm not. Sam Russell is at the front of the field. Sam Russell, he actually ran for Australia, the Oceania Champs, a couple of years ago. He is the same one who had the bit of the battle with Darcy Pound at the Open 800 Championships earlier this year. So we'll see how this race ends up as they head through the first lap in 55 seconds, James.
Yeah, the pace is hot. And Sam Russell's looking good. He's got a pretty good gap now, and he's put that gap in quick.
Dylan Burrows from Frankston is coming up in second, but passing him is Lachlan Hurd of Casey Cardinia. But as the athlete from South Australia is making the trip worth it, he extends his lead through the back straight, and now it's just a battle for the minor positions, I would say, James.
Yeah, you reckon? Sam Russell's looking like he'll have it pretty safe from here.
He has to clear that last 200 metres in 28 seconds to get about a 1:50.
Looks
Looks like he's time trialling this. We'll look at the minor positions, and the lead is constantly changing. Lachlan Hurd from Casey Cardinia still in second place. But we switch back to Sam Russell's James.
Yeah, so Sam Russell, he's going to take this one out in 152. And Stummer, a great finish. He was looking very strong over that last 150. Bravely fought it out.
I think Joel Donner from Athletics Nunawading just snuck in for third place there.
So it'll be Russell to Stumner. And then from Nunawading, Joel Donner.
So a few athletes missing from the start line of that one, actually. I noticed as the gun went. I think we were 9 down to 6, actually. So should just do a read over the lanes each time we're reading them out, just double check.
Yeah, I guess so.
Next up, we have the women's A race. We might be going for an interview with Sam Russell pretty soon, but okay, Lockie, over to you.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, we are down here with the winner all the way from South Australia. What made you come across for this Victorian Milers Club?
Love the Vic Milers. It's always organised, like straight on the track, straight away. So usually a good field. So yeah, always love coming over here.
Now you did a 151.87 not too long ago, a few weeks ago. 152 tonight. Did a lot of the work on your own. You must be happy with how you're going so early in the season.
Yeah, looking good. I would have obviously preferred to go through Bell a little bit quicker there, but you know, you can only do what you can do by yourself up the front. So yeah, looking good to race some of the bigger boys now during mid-season. So yeah, looking very well.
Well, congratulations again. Good job on tonight, and we will throw back up to the commentators for the women's A 800 metres.
And our women's A competitors are already lining up, so we'll run through the names quickly, and hopefully we have them all this time. So lining up, we have Gigi Makigani from South Melbourne, Clara Dess from Geelong Guild, Sky Ellis of Athletics Chilwell, Erin Rayner of Athletics Essendon, Molly Blakey of Doncaster, Annie Casarpis of Old Scotch, Lucy Letchford of Collingwood, Sophie Bolmet of Sandringham, and Amber Lowe of Collingwood. And the girls are already off racing. And
Molly Blakey from Doncaster, it looks, making her way towards the front of the pack.
As she steps up from the 400 to the 800, she has gone straight to the front, so hopefully she remembers there is a second lap. That's what the lap count is for, I guess.
53-second 400 PB, if I'm not mistaken, from Molly Blakey. Very quick indeed.
Definitely. And they're pretty strung out in single file as they come into this front straight. So we'll get a good look at where everyone's sitting as they get a bit closer to us.
It'll be Gigi in second.
So training partners 1 and 2 sitting there. And I think that Sky Ellis in
Sky
third.
Ellis in third. Have just gone to fourth now.
And Erin Rayner showing her experience and coming around wide. And looking to share the lead with Molly now.
Yeah, Erin Rayner, that's a great move. She actually got the fastest PB in the field.
Yeah, she goes to the front, and we'll see how Molly goes in this unknown territory over this last 300.
I reckon Sky Ellis is looking pretty good, and she looked fantastic over the weekend at all schools.
Couple of gold medals she collected, didn't she?
Yeah, definitely
she sure
got
did.
some great coaching in that girl.
It'll still be Rayner. She's running a very good race. And Ellis trying to make the move around the outside. And here goes Gigi.
Woo!
Yeah, she pulled off the back like a racehorse. But Rayner, she could hold her off. Rayner, this is a great race. Erin Rayner, she'll take it out of Gigi and then Sky Ellis to round out the top 3. You know what that means? That Rayner won.
That name sounds familiar, actually. Like our
it does.
producer, Lachlan.
He knows he's got to interview his sister.
So I guess we can now conclude that the best club won the fastest women's race. There's my input of bias. I'm sure Lockie will agree.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to be a pretty good interview between siblings here.
Yeah, a bit of sibling love.
But some pretty solid times for these girls pretty early in the year, right around just over that 2:10 mark. So not far off some PBs, or possibly even some PBs or season bests around there.
So I'll throw over to Lachlan to interview his sister Erin. Off you go, Loch.
Well, you can tell who's the better runner in the family. Erin Rayner, a good run there. You've got a tough schedule. I know you are a nurse, so you do have hours all over the place. Talk us through that last little bit of a run there. You were battling hard. I saw your facial expressions as you were coming down the front straight. Just speak us through that.
I was super lactic. First race of the season's always like that. But I could hear them coming and I just tried to hang on. Yeah.
So 2:11 unofficial time. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, really happy with that. Good for the start of the season.
And what's next on the agenda?
Hopefully get some shield races in and get under 2:10 maybe at the next Milers.
Okay, well, I was thinking she was going to say no to the interview, but brother, sisterly love, I was able to convince her. But no, congratulations, a good run, strong performance running down the front straight. We'll let you go and catch your break.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Lockie. We've got our 3K events coming up pretty soon now. So how many 3Ks have we got tonight, guys? Is it eight 3K races?
Could be more. 10, 11.
11 3K races. This is a lot of 7.5 lap races coming up tonight. So
12 3Ks.
12. So to look back at our 3K races, the A ones in particular coming up later on, we touched on it very quickly at the start of the night, but just a recap for those who are you're right there, James. You're scanning your papers, getting your notes. So we looked at our women's 3K and a few likely quick competitors there. We have, was it Madeline Murray from Old Melburnians, who had a seed time of 9:15.
Yeah, that's a really impressive time.
Yeah, Maddie's pretty quick. She's run quick over the 8 and the 15. She's run 4:10 for the 1500. So you wouldn't go past her to sit back and smoke some girls in the last little bit.
Just play with the field, you reckon?
Yeah. And there's a few girls in here who have run some longer race recently. Nat Rule had a great run at Noosa Bolt last weekend, and Bridget Seeley had a run up there too.
Yeah, so very, very close 4th place from Nat Rule in that race. Great race for Noosa Bolt there. Some good, even in the men's race as well. Jack Rayner and James Niparis, very close, close racing in humid conditions at the 5K.
Yeah, for sure. Have you done the Noosa Bolt before?
I have, not since 2016, but it's always a great weekend. Nice and hot to run a 5K at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, always good fun.
Yeah, nice. And Charlotte Wilson as well as another athlete, the teammate from Athletic Essendon.
Exactly.
Give you a shout out. So she did quite well at the City of Surf this year and ran some good 3K steeplechases last year as well. So a bit of an endurance runner.
Yeah, a solid 10K at the Melbourne Marathon too, I believe, as well as a great season over the steeplechase last year. So she'll be probably pretty happy there's nothing in her way to jump over this time and just a straight 3K.
Exactly, taking some tips from her partner Liam Adams.
Yeah.
And the men's A race. So we were talking earlier that it's much the same field as last year's in the men's A, James.
It is pretty similar with the addition of Harry Summers.
Yeah, exactly. Harry's had a great season at XCR this year, running for Box Hill against yourself, against the mighty St Stephen's and Western Athletics.
Yep, let's not bring up the cross-country season.
In that race, actually, I was having a look at the common clubs, and there's 5 Box Hill athletes, so you can see why they won the XCR Premier Division, and much as it pains both of us. A few athletes from St Stephen's and only one from Western Athletics, but Cody Shanahan, I reckon he ran very, very quick around the tan this year.
Yeah.
Only weeks ago, and has been training very well. So Cody Shanahan, one to look out for, a bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, I reckon if you could bet on this, I'd bet on Cody.
You're into your races mode, are you?
Yeah, coming out of it now.
Yeah, Ben Buckingham, we'll see how he goes. Last year he had that amazing sprint finish against Zach Patterson.
Yeah.
And Tom Forthorpe and James Hansen, fresh off a big run at Burnie 10. So 5th and 7th for those boys. So they're they're obviously packing in a lot of endurance coming off the winter. So stepping onto the track, maybe for the first time this season, from those two boys. Tom has been doing a lot of 800s, 1500s in recent years.
Yeah.
Very
good over the 1500, Tom is.
Yeah, so we see the first of our 3,000 metre races stepping onto the track now. So we'll read out the competitors in just a minute.
Right, so in the first of these 3Ks, we have Scott Lawrence of Box Hill, Nicholas Martin of Knox, Matthew Mahoney of Glen Huntly, Tom Forster of St Kevin's, Tyler Davis of Wendouree, Tommy Cluckow of Scotch, Paul Viney of Collingwood Harriers, Ross Pentland of South Melbourne, Brodie Andrews of Athletics Essendon, Tim McNeil of Old Zavs, Jack Bowen of St Kevin's, Javier Tabbitt of Coburg, Simon Moore of Old Scotch, Kennedy Chen of Box Hill, Cameron Noonan of Doncaster, Daniel Bradley of South Melbourne, Andrew Rancy, Michael Thomas of Mentone, Rob Newling of Mornington Peninsula, Michael Phillips of Old Scotch, James Nally of Box Hill, Rupert Van Dongen of Mentone, John Curry of Doncaster, Gareth Ward of Richmond, and Harry Measer of Old Zavs.
How do you want to do? Do you want to go lap each in these? Because it's sort of less.
Righty, so we're off and underway. So the field pretty bunched up. Our leader, I believe that'll be Tyler Davis of Wendouree. So Tyler Davis, he's put a couple of meters on the field, but he's looking pretty relaxed too. So I don't think it's out of his comfort zone. So Davis still looking pretty comfortable. Let's try to get a read of some of these other athletes up here. So there'll be a couple of youngsters, it looks like, up and amongst it early on. So Davis will continue to lead this through the first lap. So Davis is looking pretty comfortable, and the field's now strung out. That move he made early was probably going to be beneficial to all these athletes. He's got them on their toes early on, and that's what you want. So I believe in second, it'll be Andrew Rancy. So Davis, he'll continue to lead. And Javier Tabbitt from Coburg, he's up there. So really formed a nice long line. This is often what we see in a lot of the races overseas when the pace is hot. They've all strung out very nicely, and they can just tuck in and work together and hope to get some PBs. So speaking of PBs, our fastest C times for this race are 10:30, and that's from Scott Lawrence, Nicholas Martin, Matthew Mahoney, and Tom Forster. So they're all 10:30 runners. So if they can run 3:30 Ks, they'll be right on PB pace, and I expect that they're well under that at the moment. Davis will continue to lead. Tabit. He still remains up there. So as we get the official word, 3:24 through the first kilometre. So they're all on PB pace at the moment. If they can keep this up, they'll be around about a 10:10. So on a very good pace at the moment.
So they do come up to me for the third time here. So we are looking at 1 minute 24 second lap. So we will count them through. You'll probably hear the stopwatch timer guy here, 4:06. So 4:06 there through 1200. So as James was saying, they are well and truly under the 10:30 pace. So, and a bunch of the athletes up the front do seem to be sticking quite close together. So hopefully that means that a few of them are quite comfortable and they can go all the way through this 3K.
Yeah, a few of those athletes looking very comfortable there, Lockie. So to continue to be Davis who leads. I wonder if there'll be some work done from some of the other athletes to hopefully help him out. We see the youngster from St. Kevin's, that'll be Tom Forster, but he's moved his way up through the pack. And then I expect that'll be Brodie Andrews of Athletics Essendon, who's sitting in about third place at the moment.
Representing the best club in Athletics Victoria.
Oh, wouldn't agree with you there.
He's getting a pretty big win block from the much taller athlete right in front of him. That's just the way you want it.
Yeah, certainly. These athletes are running pretty smart at the moment. Not bunching up too much. Just hopping on board that train. And
that's exactly how you want to run a 3K.
Yeah, exactly right. So Davis, he's done a lot of the leading. So hopefully someone can help him out.
So one thing as well, you do see with the Victorian Milers Club, you can probably see it on camera now, there is quite a height difference and quite an age difference in a lot of these runners here. Victorian Milers Club, the great thing about it and why so many distance athletes do want to get out and compete at these competitions throughout the season is because they are all based on times. So we do see all our athletes here around about the same time. So as they do come up to about 1,800 metres into this race, we will try and get a 2K split for you guys up there.
Davis again, he's looking very good. And Glenn Huntley, I believe that'll be Matthew Mahoney. Mahoney looking very comfortable. He's bridged that gap. He was sitting about 4th or 5th before, so the fact that he's been able to go with that move, that'll be indicative that he's feeling pretty good, feeling pretty fresh. That'll be the three athletes. Davis, Mahoney. We haven't quite got an identification on our athlete sitting in second. Don't recognise that singlet. By the view, guys.
I believe in second place it is Kennedy Chen there from Box Hill Club, who has just been sitting on our leader just in the front. So 6:53 the second K there, so a little bit slower than the first of 3:24, but still well and truly on pace for that 10:30 personal best.
Not unusual for that first K to be a bit quicker. That excitement getting off the line, early season gym.
Do you want me to go finish or only?
Yeah, that's right, Lyndon. And it looks like now Kennedy Chen, thanks for that ID before Lockie. And I believe that's the Deneen runner's singlet that he's wearing. So obviously trains with Steve Deneen. And he's sitting pretty comfy as now Davis can get a bit of a sit. He's done much of the early work. And Mahoney sitting in third. So Chen, Davis, Mahoney. This could be our final three.
So if I did have to chuck a bet down here, Chen does look pretty relaxed compared to the other two there. Mahoney, not as bad either, but so we'll keep an eye on Chen, but he definitely looks the most relaxed out of those three at the moment.
Yeah, thanks for that, Lock. Chen is looking very smooth. See that? Davis still looking pretty comfy, and Mahoney comfy as well. But there's a bit of a move made from the two packs. That'll be the youngster from St. Kevin's, Tom Forster. He's trying to close that gap. Does he have enough time, enough track length to be able to close that gap? I reckon we're going to be on for a good finish here, Lyndon. Who do you pick?
Oh, it's a tough one. Depends who plays their cards right. See if anyone makes a move early.
Yeah, oh, here we go. Here comes the move. That'll be from Davis, our early leader. And also running a very smart race. That's Mahoney from Glen Huntley. I reckon he's got another gear that he's just waiting to reveal in the last 100. So Davis to Mahoney, Chen falling off just a little bit.
It's the first time we've seen some gaps amongst this three for the last few laps.
Yeah, some of those athletes, Davis and Mahoney, playing tactically, very smart races in the final K. So Davis, who was our early leader, he was brave, he was bold, he was courageous. He took the race on from the gun, and he's going to be rewarded for a win. That's what we like to see. And 19-second season's best or personal best. That's a great run. So coming in second will be Mahoney, and then third Chen. Now all these athletes crossing under 10:30, so a huge amount of PBs here. So it's looking pretty good out on the track at the moment. The trees don't look like they're moving too much, so hopefully not too much wind around. The sun's setting. We've got a nice scenery of the Melbourne skyline.
It's all very romantic, doesn't it, James?
You got me. I brought you here for a date, Michael.
Okay, so the next race will be the women's D race in a little while. Might tend to be a bit more space between races for these 3Ks.
Yeah, that's right. They're on the track for a little bit longer. More room to spread out.
So we mentioned some incentive prize money earlier tonight. So we had the random spot prize of $100 cash for a winner in the men's D. The incentive prizes, no one hit those times for the 800s, unfortunately. Which is, well, fortunately, because we didn't mention it. So the 3Ks. Yeah. So we're hoping that the first male can go under 752 and collect $500. Maybe they might come in between 752 and 757 to collect 250. Or Harry Summers is seated at 8 minutes flat, and if he does that tonight, he'll collect $125. So 757 to 802 for $125. But for the men, under 752 is $500.
Yeah, that's moving.
That is quick. That's Stewie McSwain, Brett Robinson, Jack Rayner quick, I think. But Harry Summers, he's a high caliber athlete and will be pushed by the other boys in the race. So
He does love a front run as well, so he'll definitely probably have a go.
if he's seen a bit of cash on the line as well, he may have a crack. Hopefully there's a pacemaker for that race. I'm not sure if there will be, but hopefully there's someone to take him through maybe 2Ks.
Yeah, I hope that. Heard on the rumour mill that maybe Matthew Clark could be doing a bit of pacing.
Ooh, that'd be.
He'd do a very good job.
He is a good pacemaker. He's done all that work for Jared Clifford over the winter and last summer as well. So
yeah, that's right.
Does know how to pacemake. And the women's under 9 minutes. So the best seeded time is 9:15 in the field tonight, and then there's a bit of a gap to the rest. So
Unlikely, but that'd be pretty exciting if someone was to run under 9 minutes for the $500.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What might be a bit more realistic and achievable might be the 9 to 9:10 mark, $250, or maybe the 9:10 to 9:20 for the 3K for $125. So at 9:10 to 9:20, a couple of good women in that race that might give that a nudge. What do you reckon, Lyndon? 9:20 sort of might be thereabouts for a couple of the girls?
Yeah, definitely. If they work together and set it up well, definite chance. If you know that's on the line, that's definitely a good incentive. Not a bad payday at a Milers Club. Good return from your $10 entry.
Exactly, plus a bit of a feed on the way home, maybe a little bit extra for the pocket, maybe a new pair of spikes. Okay, so the women's D on the track right now. So Ruby Alley from Athletics Essendon. There you go, Lyndon.
There we go.
Lauren Mosby from Diamond Valley. Abby Kenny from Knox. Christine Ashton from Box Hill. Andrea De Jong from, she's an invitation athlete actually. Ava Bennett from St Kevin's. Mia Lepere from Ballarat. Katie Ward from Collingwood. Kristen Jackson from Athletics Waverley. Mila Gleeson from St Kevin's. Elizabeth Shrieky from Williamstown. Maxine Pludge from Doncaster. Olivia Twinan from Yarra Rangers. Christy Newcomb from Athletics Chilwell. Kiralee Burnett from Sandringham. Georgia Pounding from Altivarians. And to round out the field, Sophia Armstrong from Ballerine Athletic Club down Geelong. So plenty of athletes seated at 11 minutes 20 here in this race, the women's D race, all the way down to about 14 minutes. So they will get pretty spread out, and I think they'll get pretty spread out pretty quickly, but about half the field, the front half of the field, are all within 20 seconds of each other, 11:20 to 11:40 for the first bunch of them.
Okay.
And the athlete from Chilwell is getting out quite quickly in this race tonight. The rest are nicely bunched up, just sort of chilling out. And that is Elizabeth Shirky from... No, I believe that's the athlete from Chilwell. So I'll get a name on
I'll just jump in, guys, quickly. So we do have 3 scratchings as well. So Christine Ashton from Box Hill Athletics Club, Katie Ward from Collingwood, and Kiralee Burnett from Sandringham are no-shows as well.
Thanks for that, Locke. That'll make it a bit easier for us. Cheers.
And already these girls are spreading out like we were talking about. But there is a group there in the middle, and hopefully they can all work together a little bit and shield some wind from each other a little bit. But hopefully that's mostly dropped down there on the track.
86, Dad. As it moves, just hold it at that.
So 11:20. We have our... actually, no. I won't tell people about our magic pace chart here. This is just off the top of my head. They have to run about 1 minute 30 for each lap tonight. So we'll see how they're tracking for that 11:20. Might be a bit harder in the 800s, 1500s to run a completely even race, but in your longer style races, you're probably looking to run a bit more even, aren't you, Lyndon?
It definitely hurts a little bit less when you do it that way. You go out hard, those last few laps can feel a lot longer than 400 metres.
Definitely. I've always thought that anyone can run their PB pace for the first 5 laps, first 2Ks, but it's that last K that if you're on, then you're on. And if you're not, then it's going to hurt. So they will be looking for 3 minutes through these first 2 laps for those lead girls who are after a PB of around 11 minutes 20. A few younger girls in this race as well. It is interesting to see some of these younger athletes who are itching to do those longer races. Maybe classic parkrun athletes we might see out there. The maximum distance at Little Athletics is your 1,500 metres, but maybe not enough for some of these athletes who are just pure endurance kids.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ran a 3K, I definitely held back until the last 600 because it just sounded so far And then that last lap, I was like, oh, that's all? I'm good. So, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. So maybe some of these young girls will have a similar experience and have a huge last lap.
It is very different to running a cross-country race over 3K. It tends to go a lot quicker out on the over the hills or on the road. So 1K, they come through 1K, probably about 3:40 it will be, which is around that 11 flat mark. 3:40 on the dot. There you go. The athletes at the front of the field just checking their watch, even though the clock is right there in front of them. Creatures of habit. It is pretty hard to run these longer races though without knowing where you're at on the track. I think it feels pretty free to run it without a watch, but I always tend to get nervous if I don't know where I'm at with my times.
Oh, I never race with a watch. I'm weirdly superstitious.
You're probably always going for the win though. That might be the difference.
We've also got a lot of coaches and parents probably gathering over at that 400 mark, so hopefully giving our athletes some feedback as where they're at each lap.
Exactly. The old distance runners corner out there near the 200 metre mark. If we're running 1500s today, it'd be over near the warm-up track area, where everyone somehow just tends to gather.
Our leading two has become a leading three. We've had someone join them from that second pack. So hopefully these three girls can team up a little bit and keep each other honest. Our first place athlete, I think, looks like Miller Gleeson of St. Kevin's. I can't quite pick the uniform in second. Boys?
Yeah, as we said earlier, it might be the crop tops. So it could be Williamstown though. 1975. So it is Elizabeth Shreakley from Williamstown. Yeah. So Millie Gleeson and Elizabeth Shreakley from Williamstown.
And our Knox Athletics, who I think is Abby Kenny.
I have a sneaking suspicion that these two up the front could be training partners. They seem to be running with each other, checking their watches, almost sort of vibing off each other. And I know Liz Matthews does coach at both those clubs, so it'll be my hot tip. I want Lockie to find out afterwards, actually, if they are training partners. We'll see if that prediction is correct. Do you hear that, Lock?
Sorry, what was that? I was talking to my camera person.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just want to find out if the first two athletes in Mila Gleeson from St. Kevin's and Elizabeth Shreakley are training partners. I reckon they're both coached under Liz Matthews, but yeah, I stand to be corrected.
No worries, I'll try and find Liz. Is Liz here? I can't see her at the moment.
I appreciate all your help though. So the athlete from Knox has edged towards the front.
Yeah, Abby Kenny, that is.
And just starting to open a little bit of a gap on those lead two. And we've got another two chase athletes who are getting a little bit closer. I think in fourth, that's Lauren Crow. And not sure what uniform that is.
Yeah, Diamond Valley, that'll be Lauren Mosby.
Oh,
so she's made a huge move. Oh, change of last name, that makes it hard.
Sneaky.
Now Mosby's made a very big move. She's definitely going to go after Abby Kenny.
Yeah, showing her experience over the distance over some of these younger athletes. A few more goes around the 3K definitely helps.
Yeah, that's right. There's another move being made.
So Abby, PB of 11 minutes 20 seconds. She will be looking through 2,000 metres to go at a time of about 7:34. Would be right on pace for her, and she'll go quicker than that. So she'll have a bit of time up her sleeve, about 7 or 8 seconds to use in this last 1 kilometre to get under her PB.
And our first two athletes, Abby and Lauren, have both entered with the same seed time. So you would expect them to be pretty close. So maybe they'll come a bit close together over these last stages.
Yeah, but watch out for Olivia Twining of Yarra Rangers. She's made a pretty good move, and she's now sitting in third.
That's it. Always pays to look a bit deeper in the field to see where the minor positions are changing. A few people charging towards PBs.
Yeah, especially over these 3Ks, there's a lot of time for a lot of things to change. But we still have our leader, Abby Kenny.
2 laps to go in 3 minutes and 8 seconds for Abby.
Yeah, I reckon she's going to get that season's best.
I reckon you're right, James.
I know I'm right.
Oh, we'll see. I hope so. I hope you are.
Thank you.
And our athlete in third, Olivia Twining, you mentioned, looks like she's on for a big PB in that case. So she's entered with a time of 12:03, and she's not too far off our girls who are on pace for a much quicker time.
Yeah.
She's going to obliterate it. Maybe she meant to put in 11:03.
She's probably heading for about 11:30, I reckon, Olivia Twining, if she keeps up the pace that she's going at, which would be, yeah, huge PB for her. That's why I love the endurance racing. There's always lots of time to knock off your PB. Lots of room to improve.
Yeah, it's not quite like the 800, where if you don't get that first lap right in the 8, then you can be in a bit of trouble, but plenty of time to make amends in the 3K.
And everyone who's coming through that first lap now, about the 9:05 mark, who's just come through, is heading for 11:20. So there'll be about 4 or 5 in the field who will be breaking that 11:20 mark, and there could be even more heading for season's personal bests.
Yeah, expect those late charges. So they come up with a lap to go. Abby Kenny looking very strong. I reckon she'll have this win secured.
Yeah, her gap's just getting bigger and bigger, and she's looking pretty comfortable. She'll be pretty happy to hear that bell, though.
Mosby's got her back, and there's been another move made.
Lap to go. I reckon Abby Kenny, 11:08. There you go. Let's see if I have to call it. No, 11:12.
11:12, okay.
Bit of a buffer.
Yeah, so that'll be Mia Lapere of Ballarat YCW. She's made a move, and now she's sitting in third. But yeah, doesn't look like Kenny's going to be challenged at all.
The athlete from Diamond Valley has had a very good race, though, in second. She bided her time early, just sat back in the field. Looks like a bit more experienced runner. And just sort of worked her way up and held a fairly steady pace for the race, fairly consistent running.
Yeah, spot on. Does look like she's run a very consistent race. Very even splits.
And these two girls have both done a fair bit of running on their own, which, you know, is pretty challenging. So they'll probably be looking forward to getting into another race with a few more girls around them and see if they can run even faster if they do a little less work.
Yeah, but I think Abby Kenny doesn't mind. She's done a blistering effort. 100 to go.
Nice relaxed technique.
Might even be
as
a little
well.
bit quicker than your prediction, Michael.
There's nothing wrong with that. We want to see
No,
that.
that's good. That's good.
Maybe I should have stuck with my 11:08 that I initially said.
Is that what you initially said?
Yeah, and that's looking
Spot on the
very
money, mate.
close.
Oh, you're
Oh,
kidding.
just
Oh, my God. You had it.
What a change.
Kenny,
All right,
that was a
we're going to do this for
fantastic
the rest
run.
of the night.
Now Mosby's coming through now. Again, a late charge, Mila Pair. She's run a very smart race. And Olivia Twining.
Definitely smashed
So,
that 12
yeah, huge
12-minute
PB.
entry time
Yeah,
we talked
huge
about.
PB.
So
34
she'll be
PB.
definitely going home
Yeah.
very happy girl. Some close finishes coming down. A few sprints and
Gleason as well, the athlete from St Kevin's, fair PB, about 10 seconds there.
Oh, that's good because she was leading pretty early on, or she was right up there early on.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that boldness rewarded.
Might have looked like she faded a fair bit, which maybe she did, but you know,
Hey, you
tactics
run a
or-
PB.
Exactly, run a PB, and PB's better than no PB, isn't it?
Yeah, as they say. as a wise man once said.
As all the wise endurance runners say.
You can't be disappointed with a PB, can you?
Just keep knocking those seconds off.
And Kirsty Newcomb of Athletics Chilwell, she's put on the wheels the last 100, and she's finishing hard now. I believe she does have some records in some of the power events.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And by records, I do believe there may be a world record for her classification. So
That's huge.
yeah, but
And
a very experienced runner.
big PB there as well for her as well. So about 20 seconds, 25 seconds.
Unreal. That explains the big fist pump at the end.
Yeah.
She looked pumped. High five in the crowd.
She,
There you go.
good on her. That absolute charge she made at the start paid off.
yeah, definitely.
Worth it.
I recovered in the middle of the race and then composed herself and got back for a solid time. So.
Yeah, definitely finished in the same fashion. Was flying down that home straight.
Yeah.
So what do we have next? We've got the men's D. So men's D 3K, that's what we got up next. Meanwhile, we're just waiting for confirmation to see Newcomb, the late charger from Chilwell, may have got one of those world records we were talking about.
Pretty impressive. A fair few Aussie athletes have been breaking world records in the para ranks this past season. I've seen Michael Roger.
Yeah.
The arm amputee. He's run a marathon world record at Melbourne Marathon this year.
To go with the 5K and 1500 he already owns. So how's that for some range?
Yeah, exactly. So great to see these para athletes getting out and running world records here in Melbourne, in Australia.
Our next race is lining up over on the far side of the track, and that is our men's G 3,000 metres. So lining up, we have Vincent Mancuso of Ivanhoe, Matthew Connolly of Melbourne Uni, Alistair O'Brien of Knox, Simon Hands of Collingwood, David Kontrabowski, sorry if I butchered that, running invitation, Benjamin Purser of Doncaster, Zach Mottram of Athletics Essendon, Michael Bishop of Mornington Peninsula, James Anderson, Yarra Rangers, James Howe, another invitation athlete, Declan Amundsen of Eureka Athletic Club, Sam Lindsay of Glen Huntly, Robert Trott of Mornington Peninsula, Michael Susan of Glen Huntly, Paul Prentice, also invitation, Paul Wilson, Glen Huntly, Matthew Taylor, Melbourne Uni, Corey Lawson of Mentone, Bailey Rankin and Daniel Bunworth, both of Western Athletics.
Alrighty, so 10 minutes is the time to beat here.
Yeah, definitely our top 7 competitors also have entered with a season best around that time. So, yeah, it'd be a nice one for them to dip under that 10-minute mark.
Yep, that's it. So, we'll be looking at 320Ks.
80-second laps.
Yeah, that's it.
Quick maths.
Oh, they're off quick. They're definitely going quicker than 80-second laps here. Don't know if there's some pacing going on or not.
Looks like our Athletics Essendon runner going straight to the front there.
Yeah, that's it. Best club, right?
Yeah, there you go. You're learning. So that would be Zach Mottram of Essendon, who was one of our athletes who has entered with a 10-minute season best. So probably really hoping to break that 10-minute mark tonight. They have strung out relatively early in this race, so a bit of an indication that perhaps it is on. But everyone's still on the train.
Yeah, that's it. So now we got Zach Purser up there, the youngster. Just try to get some ID on some of these other athletes that we've got here. But yeah, as you said, they've certainly strung out really well. And looks like they're going to be well under 80 seconds. So
yeah, it's about 75 at the front through that first lap. So the back of that field right on that 10-minute pace. So a great start for our front runners here. Hopefully they can settle into a nice tempo and feed off each other a little bit through these next stages.
Yeah, definitely. So that'll be Mottram, followed by Emerson of Eureka. And then on the inside, that'll be Benjamin Purser of Doncaster. Now, it looks like there's been another move made here. This will be one of our invitational athletes.
Now moving to the front running line nicely is David Busby from Mottram, followed then by Emerson and then Purser. The group at the moment.
So it'll be David Kontrabarski who's taken over the lead. So good to see some of the lead being shared. Good teamwork. So try and get some quick time. So Kontrabarski to Mottram to Emerson to Purser. That'll be our top 4. Robert Trott, he's still up there.
Another good last name for a runner, Trot.
Yeah, that's it. Going for a bit of a trot around the track.
Oh, the jokes that could be made there.
And then Mancuso of Ivanhoe, he's also up there. So looks like there's starting to be 2 packs formed. Kontrabarski definitely utilising the watch there. He's focusing on his splits. So we will get the K split coming up just in a moment.
So looking for about that 320K for that 10-minute time. So looking like this front group is going to be well and truly under that.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like they've settled down a little bit from that first lap. So this is good. They've got right on pace. Yeah, spot on.
Just a few seconds to breathe, which is nice to have up your sleeve.
Yeah, exactly right. So mostly the athletes are probably sitting where they want to be sitting right now. It's good pacing. So Kontrabarski doing some good work by Mottram. Now it looks like there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on in that front pack.
Yeah, they have bunched up a little bit from that early lap as they've settled into a more even pace, I guess.
So it looks as if Declan Emerson maybe taking over some of the lead, and it looks like we've got a new leader in Mentone. That'll be Corey Lawson. So he's trying to get the boys to wriggle on. Enough with the argy-bargy. We're here to run. That's what he's telling them. And now they've strung out nicely. To be Mancuso of Ivanhoe on the outside. He's made a bit of a move. Trying to move back up and stick with that front bunch. Now they are bunching up again. And again, some more pushing and shoving. So, yeah, that's it. Mancuso wants to get back on the outside, get back in front where he's safe. Staying out of trouble. So Mancuso, he'll take back the lead from Lawson on Mentone on the inside, and then sitting beautifully behind them, that's Declan Emerson. So Lawson leading them now, and Mancuso tucked in lightly now. It looks like they're starting to bunch up again.
And last time we saw them bunch up, we saw some moves come. So we'll see who it is who makes that call this time.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to get a little bit antsy here? There'll be a move made soon, I expect. And there is a move coming from the youngster. That'll be Benjamin Purser. Getting a beautiful sit on Corey Lawson. So Lawson will continue to lead them through. Purser's got that beautiful sit. Now coming around on the outside. From Yarra Rangers, that'll be James Anderson. So he's put his hand up to help out. So they will be coming up to the 2K split. And I suspect that they maybe have slowed up just a little bit. And now Anderson has got him moving along. So Lawson's ready to go with him. So is Purser. Alasdair O'Brien of Knox, he'll go with him, and not putting his hand down, that'll be Kontrabarski, again our early leader. So they've just dipped under 640 for that 2K split. So they may have slowed up ever so slightly.
Still right around that 10-minute pace, so hopefully they can get moving, led by this big move out the front, and get a quick last K.
Yeah, exactly right. They've certainly picked the pace up.
Not unusual for that middle K to be a little slower.
Exactly right. That's such a good way to run. You get that first K a little bit quicker, relax a bit through the middle part, and then come home hard, and that's what Anderson is wanting to do. He's ever so slightly increasing that lead. Lawson still sitting in second, Kontrabowski sitting right on his heels, but there is a challenge coming, and that's coming from Collingwood Harriers. That'll be Simon Hans, or Hans, sorry Simon. Hans is looking very comfortable, actually. If someone was going to challenge Anderson, I expect that it will be Hans. So you can see Hans is moving up now. He's put himself in second place, but he's still Anderson. And it does look as if that gap is being bridged. 600 to go. Who's your pick here, Lyndon?
I would like second place to come home. It'll make for an exciting finish if he can get close.
Yeah, I reckon you're spot on. Hans of Collingwood, he's lurking and he's looking very dangerous. So James Anderson, he'll continue to lead, and he's not giving up that gap he's formed easily. But Hans is looking very, very dangerous. And Kontrabowski again, I reckon. He won't be done with yet. But watch out for Paul Prentice. He has very smartly just moved his way up through the pack. So Prentice sits on fourth behind Kontrabowski. Hans closing that gap. Anderson does not want to let up. He put the wheels on with a K to go. He got the guys going, so it'd be good to see him rewarded, but Hans has run a very smart race. Kontrabowski having another dig at it. Prentice going with him. So 200 to go. They'll be under 10 minutes, that's for sure. This K is certainly picked up. Be interesting to get a K split on the end, but here goes Hans. Simon Hans of Collingwood, he's run a very smart race. He stayed out of trouble. He moved up when he needed to, and now he's striked when he needs to. Although Anderson doesn't look like he'll be done with yet, he's having another crack at it. Anderson's gritting the teeth. Could Anderson get him? Oh, Hans. Yeah, Simon Hans of Collingwood, he's taken that one out, 9:45, so that was a huge last K. 3:05 or so, I expect that last K to be. So that was a very good run.
And a whole string of athletes, I think, would have dipped under that 10-minute barrier there, so should be a whole bunch of happy ones down there at the finish line once they catch their breath.
Yeah, I think so. So just to round out that top three, that'll be Simon Hans of Collingwood, James Anderson of Yarra Rangers, and then third place, I believe David Kontrabowski just held off the fast finisher of Paul Prentice. So these 3Ks are starting to heat up.
Yeah. So we've got Lockie Rayner down on the track. He's going to talk a little bit about a new initiative from Athletics Exclusive this season. Over to you, Lockie.
Thanks, guys. And it's pretty enjoyable just sitting down here watching. I was going to try and do a bit of commentary from down on ground level, but it's more than enough having you guys up there. So good job so far tonight as we do lead into the better 3Ks. Or the high-graded 3Ks for the night. But yeah, we did want to talk to the people at home just as we do prepare for this men's F 3,000 metres. We are launching a Patreon account, so if you did want to support Athletics Exclusive and what we do with all the live streams and a couple other initiatives that are going to be coming up, you can go to patreon.com/Athletics Exclusive and don't have to donate a lot, but we are going to try and see if we can crowdfund a lot of what we're doing down here. All the people you see working on this event are doing it out of the kindness of their heart. So, but if you did want to chuck a bit of spare coins into supporting what we do have a Patreon account. So head over once again, patreon.com/Athletics Exclusive, where you can donate. I think it's monthly, so there's a $5, $10 and $15 plan there. You don't have to. Athletics Exclusive will always remain free, but if you did want to give back and maybe we can pick up some more events, do head over to the Patreon account. So I think we're getting ready to go here for the men's F3000 metres. What did you guys have to say on this event up there?
Yeah, so coming up next, like as you said, will be the men's F3000 metres. In our field, we'll have Patrick O'Driscoll of South Melbourne, Thomas Diamond of Box Hill, David Preussian of Melbourne University, Julian Coupler of Glen Huntly, Eric Trinkle of Knox, Xavier Mead of Collingwood Harriers, Scott Benedict of Ringwood, Sebastian Eitzen of Knox, Josh Jensen of Knox, a few Knox athletes in here, Hugh Tye of Keilor St Bernard's, Jonathan Peck of Geelong Guild, Bo Lang of Glen Huntly, Oliver Armstrong from Athletics Chilwell, Zachary Norton of Geelong Guild, James Atkinson of Athletics Waverley, Michael Oakey of Collingwood, Bradley Hall of Knox, Elias Stott of Geelong Guild, and Corey Dixon of Knox Athletic Club to round out the field. So fastest seed time in this will be 9 minutes and 38 seconds of Patrick O'Driscoll, but plenty of athletes crowded around that 9:40 range. So that'll be the time to beat. 9:40. What they got to do for that, Michael?
Be a bit of tactic racing, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon.
Tactical racing, sorry. Slang.
Are they good tacticians?
Tacti racing, let's call it. 77 second laps we're going for, so that's a 9:37 3K, so 77 117 per lap for Patrick O'Driscoll to be his PB, and if the rest of them can hang on to him, they'll do so as well.
And we've got a huge number of athletes from Knox represented in this this heat, so interesting to see if any of these guys are training partners and looking to team up, work together, and get through this race as a team.
Yeah, whole squad's entered by the looks of it, and it's good
5
idea.
of them. Makes it harder for us.
Yeah, exactly. Bradley Hall and Corey Dixon, I know a couple of younger athletes who probably are training partners down there, I would have thought, but like Liz Matthews' comment earlier, yet to be confirmed. This is just my sneaking suspicion.
Sneaking suspicion. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're also at Brentwood together. So
there you go.
School partners, training partners, but we'll see. Sneaking suspicion, maybe right.
We'll see if there are any crazy cats out there who are taking out the lead.
Oh, there's one.
Breaking the pack open within the first 100 metres. But no, everyone looks pretty relaxed so far. A few Geelong Guild athletes. We're talking about the Knox athletes, but there's 3 Geelong Guild athletes just chilling out at the back of the pack there. Maybe they're having a bit of a
chilling out behind Chilwell. That's what they're doing.
Classic, Jimmy. Classic. The athlete from South Melbourne,
Patrick O'Driscoll.
Yeah, he's very comfortable on his home track here at Lakeside Stadium. Always punches out rep after rep on the big blue track here.
And Thomas Diamond of Box Hill, the youngster, he's also getting them to go early.
It makes it easy for us when they just race in the formation that they're seated.
Yeah, exactly.
Down the start list.
Just follow the list down the bit of paper and name them all.
Yeah, exactly. Not all doing that, but having Thomas Diamond and Patrick O'Driscoll towards the front as 2 of the highest seed athletes does make it easier for us. So thanks for that, boys. That's what you're doing when you're racing.
Yeah, those Geelong Guild guys, I reckon they'd definitely do a bit of running together. They're working together nicely.
Would have thought so.
It's actually a little bit slow through that lap, and the boys know it. They were 80 seconds, so 3 seconds off that 77 target time we spoke of earlier.
Plenty of time to get that back.
Oh, plenty of time.
Chockers of time.
But it looks like our Knox boys are going to get them moving, and yeah, they're definitely training together.
Coach has probably yelled out to them on the old distance runners corner up there with 1 lap going through. Now everyone's spread out all of a sudden. Everyone has realised that maybe we're about 7 or 8 seconds off the pace here. Let's put some work in over the next couple of laps. I reckon they'll bunch up again though.
Yeah, they may do, but so Trinkle of Knox, he's the one that's injected that pace after he got the splits of the first lap. He's not here to run a slow time, that's for sure. Trinkle's here to run fast and strung out the field nicely. So Diamond will sit in second, O'Driscoll in third, and the 2 Knox teammates in 4th and 5th.
I'm just wondering about O'Driscoll's attire there. Do you think that he might just be racing a T-shirt as a symbol? I'm not going too hard. You know how some people do that? They're wearing the T-shirt. I'm not going too hard tonight, guys. Or or he just is a t-shirt man?
No,
Doesn't
I
get
think
around
he's
the
just a
singlet.
t-shirt man.
Just t-shirt man?
Or this is a threshold.
Yeah,
Either
I
of
mean,
the two.
he is at Milers Club, and he has gone through the first 2 laps in kind of close to his aim time, so yeah, he probably is just a t-shirt man. So Eric Trinkle from Knox is doing all the work out the front of his out front of the pack.
And they have picked up the pace as we'll come through the first K in about 3:12. So I think they're on about 3:20 pace after that first lap. So they've definitely chucked some speed in there. So we'll see how they go over these remaining 2K now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Looks like Corey Dixon, so he's the Knox athlete sitting in 4th. He was just sitting in 5th, so maybe he's moving around to help his teammates out. Trinkle still our leader from Diamond, from O'Driscoll.
You know, I could be mistaken once again, but I believe Corey Dixon has been doing a fair bit of race walking through his junior days, Lil Af's days. So there's a couple of names in here I recognise to be race walkers who are doubling up, I guess, using their endurance today, either training for the race walk or genuine endurance runners and walkers, which is, yeah, common thing. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I did notice that Ridian Cowley is racing soon.
That's exactly who I was talking about. You picked it in one.
Yeah, could read your mind there, mate.
Always out at the AV cross country, Ridian is.
Yeah, exactly. And they have to race the 50K in a race walk on the road. Marathoners only have to do 42 kilometres. So the race walkers are, they're a tough breed.
So Trinkle still lead him. Diamond sitting on his shoulder. O'Driscoll there as well, and Dixon in 4th. And it looks like there's an athlete from Ringwood that's just moved up with that lead bunch.
Hot tip, keep an eye on Diamond. Well, it's not really a hot tip. He's sitting in 2nd pretty comfortably. But
He's also seated 2nd coming in. That's
yeah, wow.
You don't have to be a genius, but I reckon he's doing this well. He's itching, and come on, don't putt.
Were you this good at tipping the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, wouldn't have thought so.
He's looking good, Diamond. But, watch out for Scott Benedict of Ringwood. He's the athlete that's moved up. He's now got a beautiful spot in that pack. He'll sit with him. From Collingwood as well, there's one of our athletes. Now, there's 2 of them, so we'll have to wait to get the ID on who that is. But if you watched his teammate Simon Hans earlier...
Or was it Simon Hans?
Hans. If you watched his teammate Simon earlier and taken some advice, he's certainly doing that now.
Okay, now I'm liking Patrick O'Driscoll. Sitting in 2nd, just looking comfortable.
So it'll be Xavier Mead of Collingwood that's just put himself nicely in that bunch. So we'll have Diamond to Dixon to Trinkle. Driscoll in there, and Mead.
Dixon is hard to miss with those flashy fluoro shoes, but he
they
does
do
need
look
to get
very
on those
fast, don't they?
rails.
Yeah, Dixon's looking very comfortable at the moment. So we're about to get the 2K split,
which we hope is a time of 6:25. That'd be spot on for the lads.
I reckon that's pretty much what they're going to be on.
Tell you who's looking good. The athlete in 4th place. Is he
Benedict of Ringwood?
From Ringwood, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking
Moving
very
into
good. I think
3rd.
he's just heard you because he's moved up a spot.
Yeah.
He's lurking very dangerously in that 3rd position.
I reckon he should just continue to lurk for the next lap and a half and then put the burners on.
O'Driscoll still sitting around there on South Melbourne. Dixon in the fluoro shoes.
Benedict is
looking
just
smooth. And Trinkle, he's at that point now where he needs to hang on.
I'm really not game to pick a winner here, actually. 2 laps to go, and it seriously could be any of the top 5 athletes right there.
Yeah, I think you're picking Benedict, though, of Ringwood earlier was pretty accurate. He's looking very smooth, very comfortable. He's sitting on their shoulders telling them, come on, boys, let's go. And Xavier Mead of Collingwood, he's very happy to go with him.
Do you reckon there's still a bit of wind about and Benedict's using Diamond as a windbreak on the back straight?
Might be a bit little to do much good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's looking pretty still out there now.
Yeah, we're in for a very good finish. I reckon Xavier Mead of Collingwood, he's looking...
Changed about 5 times.
Well, I'm just updating it as we go throughout the race. That's fair.
No, that's fair. I'll let you have that.
I don't play favourites unless they're in the red, white and blue St. Stephen's.
Yeah. Too bad there's no Western athletes or Essendon athletes, I
Yeah,
guess.
so an unbiased race commentary. So Diamond will continue to lead. Benedict sitting right on his shoulder. O'Driscoll tucked in very nicely behind. And Xavier Mead, my pick, 30 seconds ago, looking very dangerous. He's ready to strike. I reckon this could come down to Benedict and Mead over the last lap.
Yeah, all right, I'll take Benedict.
I'll take Mead.
Who have you got, Lyndon?
Do I get the other two?
Diamond
Yep.
and O'Driscoll will give you two. Like a snake draft.
They have to do it in under about a minute 20, minute 25 to all run under 9:40, which would be great runs for the four of them.
Yeah, they'll do that for sure. Or Diamond, I reckon, is looking dangerous.
You can't change again.
I haven't changed. I'm just,
Diamond's
just
all
saying that he's
Lyndon's
looking
changed.
dangerous. He's exploded over that back straight.
He's done a lot of leading as well. He's just not tired. But Mead is
He doesn't
kicking
want the
legs
youngster
over.
to beat him.
Big last 200 coming up from these boys for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be between Diamond and Mead.
All four.
O'Driscoll looks like he's making a stake for third place.
All four are going to go under 9:30.
That's unreal. That's exactly what we want to see. Oh, look, here comes Mead. He's run a very tactically smart race. Sat on his shoulder and exploded on the home straight.
You are a genius, James Coleman. You have called it from 2 laps out.
Took you a while to get it right, but you got there eventually.
I think we called everyone from 2 laps out.
Xavier Mead to Diamond, to O'Driscoll, and Scott Benedict. And that'll be Corey Dixon.
And they all ran under 9:29. All four of them under 9:29.
Yeah, huge amount of PBs, or season's best at least in this field.
So what we did call, though, 1 kilometre out, was that the top 5 were all going to run under 9:38, which they did. So
Yep,
Corey
yep.
Dixon came in at 9:38, and his PB before the night was a 9:59. So
Unreal.
21 second PB there.
Unreal.
You don't get a lot of opportunities to run a 3K, especially a fast one like this. You know, you can run one at Shield, but sometimes there's 100 people in the race, which makes it a bit hard. So this is usually the only one on the Milers calendar. So if you want to run your 3K BB, this is a good shot.
Very good opportunity, especially for an open athlete as well. You tend to get pushed up to that 5K distance more often than not.
Or just avoid it altogether.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. There is something magical about this Milers 3K, I reckon, the last few years. Jack Rayner won it a couple of years ago, didn't he?
Yeah. It's
Pretty
just
impressive
like
He's gone on to do all right.
Yeah. Ben Buckingham last year, that was such an exciting race.
also looking at that the Zatopek night, which is coming up in about a month's time. That
That's
under
right.
20 3-kilometre race between the men and the women's events. That's I reckon that's one of the most exciting races on the calendar that night. That under
for
23k. That's the 10k is good racing, and this is the Australian Champs, which is always great to see an Australian Championship endurance event. But those under 23ks, they're some amazing running over the years on those.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, we got Cody Shanahan, winner of last year.
Yeah, exactly. Still my tip for the A race later on.
Yeah, that Zatopek 3K is used to always be one of the biggest races on the schedule. It's sometimes scarier than nationals for me as an athlete, because you're lining up with some of the older girls, especially when you're a little bit more on the bottom age.
Yeah, pretty much is nationals with all the athletes from in-state coming down, and there's often at least one or two of the girls who are going for a World Junior qualifier if it's the right year as well. Okay, what event do we have up next? It's one of the girls.
Women's C, 3K.
Women's C. Okay, so to call out the competitors in the Women's C 3,000 metres event tonight. So we have Olivia Richardson from Geelong, Nicole Joseph from Old Scotch, Sophie Coltish from Geelong Guild, Freya Dess, Geelong Guild, Tess Mitchell, Athletics Waverley, Bianca Skerry, older sister of Mia Skerry, the multi-eventer we saw compete earlier, Beta Janetsky from Olds Varians, Stephanie Thomas, Western Athletics, Cara Foote, Collingwood, Carly Atkinson, Box Hill, Maddie Lawson, Richmond, Mairead Spark from Williamstown, Madeline Gwynn from Crosby Crew, Melissa Barster from Frankston, Holly Blake from Knox, Julia McLaren from Athletics Essendon, and Isabel Collins from St Kevin's. So, leading time in this race, there's actually 5 athletes who have either a 10:48 or a 10:49 in the pack today. So 5 athletes at least will be very tightly bunched.
And 3 of those are our Geelong Guild athletes, so we might see a bit of teamwork from that club like we did in that previous men's race.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see. And it only goes down to 11 minutes. 1 athlete on 11:10, but they'll be dragged through. Don't you worry about that. Everyone will be under 11 minutes, we hope. That's what we'll keep an eye on, maybe. The field to be under 11 minutes.
Yeah, and they're definitely tightly bunched as we come through this first lap.
Yeah, so Sophie Coldish of Geelong Guild and Carly Atkinson of Box Hill, they'll be our 2 leaders. They're not afraid to take some of the work and get the girls going. So our first lap will be 84 seconds.
So they are heading for about a 85, 86 second 400, so a couple of seconds to spare. Unlike the previous boys race, which were a few seconds too slow on that first lap, then they speed up for the following laps. But all the girls are pretty tightly bunched and look to be working together well, including those few Geelong Guild athletes who are pretty much on the same PB. I think they'll actually be. They might try and work together, but I think there might be a little bit in them that wants to race against each other as well and separate those PBs a little bit. Don't want to have the same PB as your mate, surely.
It's our leading bunch at the moment. Coltish, Atkinson, Blake, and Olivia Richardson of Geelong Guild, so very tightly bunched.
Yeah, a lot of girls running wide.
Yeah, they almost need one of them just to peel wide and get them to go and get them to string out like some of those guys' races earlier. So Isabel Collins, she'll be our new leader of St Kevin's. She's made a bit of a move and she's watching her watch. Looking at her watch. So she's wanting them to get on pace. And
I know we talked about looking at your watch earlier, but the great thing about Milers is that you have a big fat stopwatch at the finish line, and then often you'll have an official calling out your lap splits as well. So you're pretty well looked after here with your splits, but in the longer races, multiple laps, we know that's something that endurance runners are pretty conscious of.
yeah, they
those
love their
exact
splits.
lap splits.
And I can test Mitchell here is one of those. She's got the girls going. She's made a move. She's put a bit of a gap, so 4 or 5 metres on the field. Will some of these girls go with her? I reckon Holly Blake of Knox, she's looking dangerous. She's a bit indecisive at the moment. I think she wants to make the move. She wants to close the gap. And you can tell it's definitely picked up now. Look at that. They've strung out very nicely.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for it to all change here in these 3Ks tonight, does it?
No, not at all. That's the beauty. As we said before, with these longer races, that you've got plenty of time to make it up if you don't quite get that first lap you want. So Mitchell checking the pace again. Now Blake, she's closed that gap pretty quickly.
Almost spot on the 10:48 that she's probably after.
Now hopefully all her work can pay off and she can have a bit of a sit here for a while and settle into a bit of a pace here. Hopefully she hasn't burnt too much energy making up that gap.
Yeah, let's hope not. Now, it looks like there's a couple of other athletes that are trying to bridge that gap too. One of them, Nicole Joseph of Old Scott, she's currently sitting in 4th. athlete in third of Collingwood Harriers. That'll be Cara Foote. She's sitting in third. So Mitchell followed by Blake.
I do like what's happening a bit further back in the race. Sitting in about from 5th to probably 10th. This is our crew who's looking to run under 11 minutes tonight, maybe 10:55. So keep an eye on that pack as well, because they're just working together pretty nicely.
Yeah, that's what we want. There's some of those girls in there. They've got a very good sit, a very good spot, and if they can just relax, and I'm sure they'll be ready for a good hard last kilometre.
Yeah, for a sub 11 minutes, we're looking for a 5:51 for anyone who wants to be around at that pace. And they go through in a 5:48. So that whole pack there is around that 10:55, 11-minute pace. So a strong, well, I was about to say last K, but a strong 1,400 metres. Unlucky for these girls.
Yeah.
This is where it does really start to hurt,
It's
though.
very
They really
different.
need to have people to work with.
And our two up front are really working well together. Just got the Knox athlete sitting right on the shoulder there, which sort of just says she's feeling relatively comfortable and probably ready to make a move the way she's sitting.
Yeah, Blake's looking very comfortable. She's the athlete from Knox sitting in second.
Sitting in 4th from Scotch. This athlete is looking pretty good as well. I wouldn't be surprised if she starts bridging the gap in the front competitors. That's Nicole Joseph from Scotch, and she comes into the race with one of the faster seed times.
So it'll continue to be Mitchell and Blake. It'll be interesting to see if Blake from Knox takes over any of the work as they head into the last kilometre.
So you do see Joseph from Scotch just bridging that gap on the back straight as well.
Yeah,
So
spot on the money.
Thanks, James.
Anytime. Got to give credit where credit's due. You called it, and she made that move, and she's
and I
she's
appreciate
closing
it
it now.
So we're going through at about a 10:40 pace here. So a few PBs in the pipeline, and about a 10:50 to 10:55 pace for that large pack in the middle. So most of those athletes are heading towards that PB zone that we're looking at. But once we said earlier in the night, pretty easy to run your first 2Ks at the pace that you want to, but it's that last K that really is going to get you.
Certainly right. And it looks to be Maddie Lawson. She was sitting comfortably in that that chase pack. She's split them up a little bit now, and I reckon they're closing on this lead group.
And our Scotch athlete is looking pretty good there as she goes wide and takes the lead with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Nicole Joseph, you called it, Michael. She does have the fastest seed time in the field, and she's showing them why.
We just got to keep looking at these athletes who are deeper in the field, because this is where all great racing happens.
Yeah, that's spot on. And a lot of these girls will all be after those PBs. So Lawson's the athlete from Richmond sitting in 5th. She's got the girls going. She sort of broke up that pack a little bit with a K to go.
Definitely room for a lot of movement over this last 600-700 metres between that middle pack there. Probably couldn't call what order those 5 girls are going to finish in.
Yeah, that'd be very tough to pick. They're looking ever so smooth.
So the front pack of 3 is going through in about 10:45 pace. So 8:36 through 2.4 Ks is about the 10:45 pace for the girls, which would be a bunch of PBs. And that middle pack, once again, still hanging on around that 10:55 pack and working very nicely together through the field.
And Nicole Joseph hasn't quite managed to drop these other girls just yet. They are hanging on just a little bit, but a little bit of a gap opening up as they come up to get the bell, which I'm sure they'll be very welcoming of at this point.
So I reckon in that pack, it's been the Geelong Guild girls working together. So Sophie Colty, she was one of our early leaders. She's sitting at about 6th at the moment. She's got her teammates beside her that she's worked very well with. This race is well and truly not over.
Is well and truly
on. Yes, it sure is. So Coltish is making a charge, and so is her teammate.
How good's this? How everyone's just bunched up together again. Some athletes.
This is
through
unreal.
The field. Nicole Joseph holding strong out the front of the field as she has done for the last couple of laps. See the athlete from Knox still holding strong in second place, going through 10 minutes for the 3K. So have about 40, 45 seconds, 50 seconds even to get through that last 200 to get a PB, which they will do all that front pack.
It's the charging girls from Geelong Guild. They've worked very well together.
And they're only heading for about a 10:48. So they'll be very, very close. Nicole Joseph from Old Scotch holds that lead. Holly Blake, very strong finish. Olivia Richardson, very strong finish as well. And it could be Holly Blake who takes the win at the very, very last minute. Nicole Joseph and Olivia Richardson to round out the top three. And as we still see a clock rolling, are we going to get the bulk of the field through 11 minutes? I'd say all those girls, maybe bar one or two, have run PBs just then. And all doing it really, really smart, really tactically.
Yeah, some real great racing there as well, rather than just out there time trialling. Those girls were really, really going for it and racing to that finish line.
It's exciting to see the Geelong Guild girls that work together really well, sitting in that pack. And you called it too, Michael. You said that it ain't all about what's just happening up front. Look what's happening back in the bulk of the field, and they moved through ever so nicely that last K. And probably had it have been another 200 metres, would have got the win.
Exactly. I think that this race is just a great example of it. Lots of movement in the field, and the experience of a couple of athletes there, just waiting, biding their time. So men's E-race up next. The competitors are still just chilling out over next to the long jump pits there, getting their final instructions from the start officials there. Who's going to call names for this one?
Lyndon, your turn.
Hopefully there's not too many hard ones for me in here. Pretty good at butchering a last name. We don't quite have our boys out on the track yet, but we can go through our starters in the men's D3000. So we have Jack Bullock of Glen Huntly, Raymond Naya from South Melbourne, Paul Townsend running Invitation, Nicholas Dennis of Melbourne Uni, Joshua McLeod of Box Hill, Tom McFarlane of Glen Huntly, Kieran Hayes of Box Hill, Felix Lonergan of South Melbourne, Tom Bowers of Old Scotch, Josh Collins of St Kevin's, Luca De Conza also of St Kevin's, Tom Hall of Melbourne Uni, Hamish Lazaro of Doncaster, Darren Diol of Knox, Samuel Spicer of Maccabi Athletic Club, Matthew Scamberg of Western Athletics, Jeremy Drake of Athletics Essendon, Michael Johnson of Richmond, Robert Capp of Mentone, Jack Hingham of Glen Huntly, and Jasper Pickering also of Glen Huntly. And we have the boys up on the track now getting ready to go. Did I? Oh shit.
And we're away in the men's 3,000 metres E-race.
So the men's E-race, the fastest of the seed times here in 9:19 from Ben Ludbrook from Eureka Athletic Club, down to Harry Amos of South Melbourne in 9:36. So about 16, 17 seconds spacing out the field there. So they're all very bunched up. As we get into these higher seeded races, they probably will be more tactical, more bunched up, especially in the early stages amongst the men.
And our early leader from the greatest club in athletics, Victoria, Tim Givney of St Stephen's.
Oh, I thought someone from Western Ass was out the front.
Yeah, no, you're mistaken. You're mistaken.
Okay.
He's not in the lead anymore because Glen Huntly's gone charge now.
Mark Thompson from Glen Huntly has just gone absolutely kamikaze. I love it.
Gangbusters. That's good. He's here to run fast.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about.
So he's heading for a sub at 9:20, so he says, but maybe he's actually heading for even faster than that, I would suspect.
And I probably should confess and apologise for just reading out the men's D race instead of the E race. Apologies to all of those competitors. Yeah.
That's all right.
First day of the season.
First night back, Lyndon. We can only improve from here.
Although, at which point did you guys realise? Could you have stopped me?
No, I realised when
I
you were
wasn't
like,
reading the sheet.
Yeah, third
It's a
from the
team
bottom,
effort up
to be
here,
honest.
guys.
So 9:20. Those are laps of about 74 seconds the boys would be hoping for.
Yeah, Mark Thompson, he's just making this lead larger and larger with every stride. So Gibney, he'll keep leading that pack, and then by his side, I believe that'll be Ben Ludbrook of Eureka.
Former Australian cross-country champion, so we're seeing to do that form out there. The handicappers will be on to the mark after this one. Still a long way to go.
I genuinely wonder what time Mark Thompson is going for tonight. Has he put down 9:20, but his PB could be 8:50 or something?
Well,
This
that's
could just
about
be
that's
his season's best.
Yeah, he's just ticking above 9 minutes pace at the moment, so 72, 73 were his first couple of laps.
Yeah, I absolutely trust Tim Crosby that he has been seeded based on the information given, but maybe he had a bit more confidence up his sleeve. But anyway, he's going to have to do it himself now, which will be impressive if he can pull it off for that long. Good luck to him. Hope he does.
We've set up a pretty big challenge already, a gap of about 40 metres, 3 laps into this race.
As we said, it's all about what happens deeper in the field, which is where the bulk of the race is. We do see the athlete from St Stephen's still leading the rest of the boys around in Tim Gibney. He's run a few good races. He was pretty consistent across the cross-country season, wasn't he, James?
Yeah, he raced a fair few of the cross-country races, and he's been showing up for training a little bit more frequently now, so I'd say he's only getting fitter and fitter.
Getting valuable points for the club.
That's right. A good club man, that's what we need.
So the bulk of that race went through in about 3:10 for that first K.
Okay, so not
probably
too bad. But probably want to get a wriggle on, and that's what Ben Ludbrook of Eureka has got him doing. Now his teammate, also from Eureka, that's Jordan Mayston.
Mark Thompson out front has slowed a little bit. He probably headed through in about 9:15 pace there. So maybe actually not too silly what he's doing. Maybe it's the rest of the field who have had the brakes on a little bit early in this race and a bit too comfortable running together. So it will be interesting to see what the peloton does. If I know Tour de France was a little while ago, but I still remember all the words.
Yeah, that's all
Awesome
right.
track season then, you can keep the joke going.
Yeah.
So that'll be Delaney sitting in third, just behind Ludbrook.
Delaney's another name, popular name in the cross-country season. He did a fair few of the XCR races. Joji Mori as well, Richmond, recognisable name there. He's been doing XCR for Richmond Harriers for a number of years. I'm sure there's a number of others in this field as well who have been the same. So through 1,600 metres, coming up now for Mark Thompson. 4:56, they spot on 9:15 pace, and the rest of the field around about that 9:22 pace. So the bulk of the field probably is heading for that mid-25s, 9:25s, where a lot of their PBs lie. So
Yeah, and Ludbrook's really getting a move in. Look at that turnover. He's looking comfortable, and they're bridging that gap. So Ludbrook to Delaney in that chase pack. It'd be Harry Bowen of St Kevin's, who's just hanging on to that second pack as well.
Pray for Mark Thompson. Pray for Mark Thompson. Hopefully, when everyone passes him, he can just tuck in nicely and sort of rest for a few laps. Well, I don't know if there's a few laps left. Rest for a lap, maybe two.
Only just over a K remaining, so not too long that he needs to hang on for. So hopefully it pays off for him, his gutsy front running.
We'll give him a lap to rest. One lap.
So Grant Simpson of Bellarine, he's a figure in the red, sitting in fourth.
Figure, the looming figure.
Yes, he's looking comfortable. So too is Reese Hadfield, and Bowen of St Kevin's, he's faced with that decision of trying to hang on to that lead pack.
And a 6:14 through the 2K, which gives them a 9:21 spot on So depending who you are in the field, you'll be thereabouts to a PB, but it's not going to come easy for any of them in the last 600 metres. Oh, sorry, last K even.
Yeah, well, Ludbrook's making it look like it's the last 600. That acceleration he's put on, that turnover he's got going, he's looking fabulous. And he's the athlete really responsible for getting this group going. He saw the split at a K and just picked it up, and he's pulled him along, so it'll be Ludbrook. Simpson of Bellarine will be sitting on him in second. Now in third place of Knox, that'll be Reese Hadfield. Trailed by Liam Delaney. And Joji Mori of Richmond moving up nicely. He's sitting in about 9th or 10th at the moment. And unfortunately, Thompson of Glen Huntley, our early leader, he's starting to fall back through the field a little bit. But it'll be Ludbrook continuing to have a very strong last couple of kilometres. Simpson of Bellarine ever so slightly just falling off. Ludbrook trying to pull away, so it'll be interesting to see what they've got over this last 400. Ludbrook looking very, very good though. And I expect he may have another gear in his back pocket once he hears the bell. So Ludbrook of Eureka leads through the bell. Grant Simpson of Bellarine, he's in second. Coming through third from Knox, that'll be Reese Hadfield. Grant Simpson of St. Kevin's crossed in fourth, but from Diamond Valley there has been a bit of a move up through the field. That'll be Lachlan Higgs. So Higgs moves into fourth. Ludbrook doesn't look like he's going to be beaten.
He's worked very well, very hard today. Leading, well, pretty much from the front most of the race, and he's going to hold on in this last 200 metres and come home under his PB of 9:19, I would have thought. But then there might be a few other PBs. So many quick legs ticking over in this last 200. We've got a range from 9:36 down to 9:19, so plenty of people will head around that 9:30 mark over that last 200 metres.
So Ludbrook, this is a very fantastic run. He's the one responsible for getting the group going in that second kilometre. Courageous, bold running, and he's going to be rewarded with a victory and looks like a PB. So Simpson of Bellarine, Higgs of Diamond Valley, and rounding out fourth from Knox, that'll be Reese Hadfield.
So do you want to hear something funny, guys? I've just had intel, and I'll give a shout out to Nick Wall here. I knew I recognised the name Mark Thompson. I think I heard it on a podcast recently. Mark Thompson actually ran the World Junior Athletic Championships in 1998. And he has a PB. Guess what his PB is? Over 3,000 metres.
Oh.
So he went out very fast tonight, and we're wondering what time he was going for. Guess what his PB is?
So
Over 3K.
World Juniors, did you say?
He ran World Juniors in 98. What's his 3K PB?
7:58.
Mate, it is 7:58.
Are you serious?
Yep. In 1999 in Sydney, he ran a 7:58. His PB in 1,500 metres is a 3:43, and over 800 metres, 1:51. So great to see a former Australian representative running Milers Club, and now we know. Now we know who he is.
Yeah, very talented athlete.
So cheers for Nick Wall for the information. I knew I recognised the name there. So never know who will turn up to Milers Club, do you?
Yeah, that's right. I remember last year too, Madeline Pate turning up, running one of the heats. We hadn't seen her for a little while. She was an Aussie representative in the 800.
Yeah, now living over in the States, doing her PhD.
Brains. Yeah, men's D 3K will be next.
They're actually racing this time.
Yes, they
are. Yeah. So just take note of the names that Lyndon called out about 12 minutes ago, and That's who's racing this next
Yeah.
one.
We'll give him a second introduction. So in this heat, the men's D3K from Glen Huntly will have Jack Bullock, Raymond Nayer of South Melbourne, Paul Townsend, an invitational athlete, Nicholas Dennis of Melbourne Uni, Joshua McLeod of Box Hill, Tom Yom McFarlane of Glen Huntly, Kieran Hess of Box Hill, Felix Lonergan of South Melbourne, Tom Bowers of Old Scotch, Josh Collins of St Kevin's, Luca de Conza of St Kevin's, Tom Hall of Melbourne Uni, Hamish Lazaro of Doncaster, Durham Diol of Knox, Sam Spicer of Maccabi, Matthew Schumberg of Western Athletics, Jeremy Drake of Athletics Essendon, Michael Johnson of Richmond Harriers, not to be confused with world record holder, former world record holder of the 1, 2 and the 4.
We did say who's going to show up at Milers.
Yeah, Michael Johnson in the 3K is going to show up.
Yeah, amazing.
Robert Capp of Mentone, Jack Hynam of Glen Huntly, and Jasper Pickering of Glen Huntly. So they'll be stepping onto the track shortly.
Like actually stepping onto the track.
Yeah.
As opposed to last time.
They will be.
A few recognisable names in this this event now. Matthew Schomburg, a former athlete of mine and now training partner.
Very nice.
He's actually going to be joining me in a run from Port Melbourne to Portsea in a relay format in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
We're actually just raising money for Movember, so we're calling it Run the Bay Relay, and we're getting a few teams involved, running in a bit of a kind of like an Ekiden relay style.
No, yeah.
From Port Melbourne to Portsea. So anyway, Run the Bay Relay. So we're looking forward to that one. So Schomburg, he'll be one to watch. He's had a great cross-country season, first year in the Opens. Paul Townsend, he is one that I haven't seen run for a long time, but he's getting back into it. I used to train with him when he was 15, 16 years old, maybe even a bit older. So it'll be interesting to see how Paul goes tonight. Looking forward to seeing that one, and a few regular names from Milers Club last year as well. Good to see everyone back year after year. Who do you like in this one, James and Lyndon?
Well, a little bit biased. I'd love to see a couple of my training partners run well. Yeah, Sam Spicer and Tom McFarlane. Be good to see how they can go in this. Tom's been doing a lot of work over winter, so he's entered with 9 flat. I'm not sure if that's his PB or not, but it'd certainly be good to see him go sub 9.
It is funny how there's about 6 athletes here with 9.0000.
And that every athlete in the field, season's best, happens to be 0.0.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
are the odds of that?
Who remembers the point behind their PB anyway?
Yeah.
So to
unless
break
you're Usain Bolt.
Exactly. Unless you're a sprinter. To get under the 9-minute mark for this pack, they'll need to be travelling through around 72 seconds per lap. There's a few who might be pushing the pace to head more towards the 850 to 855 mark. Who'll be more looking at that 71 second per lap rate.
I'll just jump in, guys. The UCLA black singlet jumper is the pacemaker. He is going at 71 seconds a lap, so confirm 71 seconds a lap for your pacemaker.
Thanks a lot. Good to see the pacemakers back.
Yeah.
These races, we're missing them for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. It's good at getting the field going, and you know, it can sometimes be hard to gauge pace in a race, especially from the get-go. So yeah, once you get that adrenaline and those race jitters out, it helps to have a pacer. Just kind of help you settle in.
I remember we had pacers in almost every race going in previous meets last season. So if you're out there and listening and just not racing tonight, maybe that's an option for next time, jumping in as a pacer for a couple of races. It's all great to help out the other guys on the track, maybe even jump in the same race as a training partner and lead the whole race around. Just contact Vic Milers Club in future meets for that. It's very helpful for everyone out there, considering it is a PB meet.
So it'll be Jack Bullock of Glen Huntly. He's tucked in nicely behind the pacer. And from South Melbourne, that'll be Raymond Nayer, sitting right behind him. Hamish Lazaro, too, of Doncaster. He competed over the weekend at the All Schools in the steeplechase. Took out the under 23k steeple. Looked very good over the barriers. So too did Durham Diol of Knox. He's sitting in the middle of the pack. The nice long loping stride of the athlete from Knox.
Yeah, he's a recent Little Athlete. He won the state cross-country championships at Little Aths this past season and has turned into one of those pure endurance guys. Loves the long stuff.
Yeah, he does have that very nice stride, very nice build. I'm sure he'll be one to watch over the future.
Kind of that Stewie McSween height about him.
He does, doesn't he?
The loping strides.
The Matt Ramsden long legs.
That's it. To quote a few elites.
So I wonder if our pace is looking to peel off. He sort of made room for Raymond Nayar to come in.
Yeah, peeling off only after 2 laps, though. I'd like to see him last a little bit longer.
Maybe we'll see him back in the next heat as well.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe have a lap rest and then come back.
Yeah, that's it. Needs to.
So they went through just under 3 minutes. So that is heading for that 8:57 time that Raymond Nayar has quoted as his personal best. Okay, so our pacemaker is in second position now, so it would be nice to see him get in the lead or simply just step to the side of the track. We'll see what he does over the next couple hundred metres, though.
So if we include our pacer out of the placings at the moment, that'll be Nayar still our leader of Bullock, followed by Lazaro. McFarlane of Glen Huntley, he's up there also. So bit of a pack, but still strung out nicely. We'll see if they can keep hitting those consistent 72s. That's what we want to see for the sub-9. Now, it does look like our pace has peeled off here, giving our runners good clear view of the track.
Give him a bit of space, that's a good idea.
So Josh Collins, he'll be the athlete of St. Kevin's. That's sitting in third. Lazaro following him. So too McFarlane.
I'll tell you what, though. Lachlan said that the runner in the UCLA singlet was a pacemaker, which seemed evident at the start. But now it looks like he's either racing with the boys or he's just working hard to get back in front. And, they all look pretty set up by themselves, though, at this point.
Yeah, no, he's pulled off now.
There he is.
So definitely the pacer.
This is a good pack, and they're coming through the, where are we, the 1,200 metre mark? 1,600 metre mark in 4:46. So 4:48 for 9 minutes. 4:46 will get them about a 8:57.
Yeah, there's a very good group here, and if they keep going the way they are, there'll be a lot of happy boys on the way home tonight with sub-9 PBs.
It's such a milestone. It's so many races spent trying to crack that 9-minute mark for myself.
Yeah.
It's one of those elusive barriers.
I finally ticked it off last year.
Oh, well done.
There we go.
Oh, good work, Lyndon.
Get around it.
Hey, so you know how hard it is. You can appreciate what these guys are doing on the track. 72, 72, 72.
Wouldn't mind jumping in that pack though. That looks like good fun.
Oh, it's a beautiful spot to sit right now, isn't it?
An easy way to run it.
Yeah, dense pack.
If there ever was.
Dense pack.
So it'll continue to be Bullock and Nayar that do much of the work for this pack. Sitting in third, Josh Collins. So go ahead, Michael.
Even this second pack here with Schomburg and Michael Johnson and a few others are probably still ticking along at their about a 9:10 pace, which is around what they quoted, 9:10 to 9:15. So good runs all round in the field here.
Yeah, and one of the Glen Huntley guys in that second pack has got it going, and Michael Johnson's gone around and wants to go with him. So good to see, that second pack working together.
They're on about 9:08 pace.
But it looks like we do have a couple of new leaders. So from Melbourne Uni, Nicholas Dennis, he's taken over. And quickly following him is Joshua McLeod of Box Hill. Tom McFarlane there. He looks like he's ready to go with the move. Josh Collins of St. Kevin's falling off slightly. It'll be interesting to see if Bullock and McFarlane go around. They look like they're ready to strike. So to continue to be Dennis as our new leader.
They need to come through in about a 7:12 would be absolutely lovely for these guys.
Yeah, they're well and truly going to be under that.
So if you're heading to around the 8:50 mark, and the rest of the pack 7:10, so just sub 9. We'll see how many we can get. I reckon we will get. I'm going to go with 6. 6 under 9 minutes.
Oh, there's going to be more than that.
How many then?
I'm going to say 10. 10 of them are going to get under 9.
All right, Lyndon.
Oh, loving the positivity. Let's go 12. No, that's
12. Oh, there we go. There we go.
You've said it. You've said it.
I just wanted to one-up you.
6, 10, and 12. All right.
So Nicholas Dennis, he has injected the pace. So Nicholas Dennis, our leader at the bell.
He'll run at 8:49.
Lazaro McFarlane making a strike now. Now, if all these boys can run a 70-second last lap, they'll get a sub 9.
Let's hope that 6 of them do.
Yeah.
No, 12. 12. Let's hope that all of them do.
I'm being super positive here.
Well, there's 11 of them in that group.
And a few 70s for these guys.
Durham Diol could be my 10th.
12 in the race.
So if Diol from Knox, if he can get under 9, that'll put 10 of them under 9. But look at our leader.
Dennis?
Yeah, he's looking good, isn't he?
Great race, just biding his time. He comes in with a PB of 8:59, which he's been doing. He must have had a great winter season, just building up that endurance, and he's been doing the first 5 or 6 laps easy by the looks of it. Just waiting.
From our South Melbourne athletes coming off.
Oh, that's Felix Lonergan, yes.
Definitely unfamiliar territory for him, probably in the 3K, more of a 800 runner.
Look at this, McFarlane and Lonergan, a great duel. So Nicholas Dennis of Melbourne Uni, he'll take out this in 8:49.
Just like I said, good.
Lonergan, McFarlane, and Naya. Lazaro. Oh, look at that. I reckon that's 10 under 9. That was.
What if it was 11?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Sorry, Lyndon.
Oh.
As all the rest of the pack charges towards the finish line and around the 9-10
Bullock,
region.
Johnson.
Paul Townsend coming through now. Jeremy Drake and Matthew Schomburg.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very exciting race. Sam Spicer, here he comes in 9:27, so I believe that is a PB for him.
So what's next on the old program? Is it the
Surely
men's
must
C
be
or
time for the women's.
Women's B,
women's
maybe?
B race, yep.
Yeah, okay. Lachlan is just letting the guys get a bit of a breath out the start of the field before he sneaks an interview.
I don't actually think I need to. I'm going to out of just good habit, but he does look pretty rested down here, Nicholas, so I'll let him have a chat to a few of the athletes before I do try and bail him up for an interview.
That's it, like good sportsmanship, that's what we're all about. I wonder how many PBs have been run tonight.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to get from us, wouldn't it? Like a PB meter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's
fills up.
surely that's something that Crosby looks at after each event, a PB meter, to see how many across the meet or across the season. That'd be interesting stats.
Yeah, if you want some stats here, Paul Jeans and Tim Crosby, they're your man.
Anyway, we'll head back to Lock on the track with the winner of our men's D race.
Yeah, I am down here at the finish line. You look pretty rested. I can't believe it. We normally try and give you a couple of minutes break, but a phenomenal run, 8:49.8 unofficial time there. 8:59 seated time. So talk us, is that a personal best tonight?
It is, yeah, definitely tonight. And over the winter, doing a lot of longer stuff, like half marathons and things. But so, first time getting on the track, doing some shorter things for quite a while. So, pretty impressed with my my time. Stands me good stead for next week for the 5K.
All right, that's awesome. So you're doing the 5K next week at the 5K Champs.
Yeah.
What time are you expecting there, or going for?
Maybe 15:30. So yeah.
Well, 3K, we don't. They've mentioned it a few times in commentary. The senior athletes don't get the opportunity to do a 3K too often.
Yeah.
So this first Victorian Milers Club meet is always a great hit out. You ran a superb job, so I'm sure you're going to be in ripper form for next week. We'll let you go. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And we're finally back to some girls action. A little bit biased again. So it's our women's B race lining up over on the far side of the track. And our competitors are Olivia Weston of Knox Athletics, Abby Goldworthy of Williamstown, Kira Boyd Squires of Melbourne Uni, Victoria Scalatonis of Knox, Simone Brick of South Melbourne, Brianna Bunworth of Western Athletics, Nadine Bainbridge of Western Athletics, Shannon McDade of Ringwood, Amira Tibbett of Coburg, Vanessa Wilson, Glen Huntly, Dana Deckers of Glen Huntly, Georgina Mees of Ballarat YCW, Saskia Lloyd of South Melbourne, Orla Grenlin Fox of Williamstown, Lauren Starr, Yarra Rangers, Rebecca Barry of Knox, Brianna Kroll of Box Hill, and Sienna Andrews from the Greatest Club Athletics Essendon.
Good. I love the shout-outs to our own clubs. Got to support the local clubs in the Athletics Victoria competition.
Yeah, hopefully we'll pull a race with one from each club in there for ultimate banter. We can dream.
So Brianna Crowell of Box Hill, she'll be the early leader.
So 124s they're looking to go through. 124s, 123s if they want to crack that 10:30 barrier. Well, 124s would be 10:30 exactly, but Olivia Weston and Abby Goldsworthy and Kiara Boyd all have PBs just under that 10:30 mark. With about, once again, about six of our athletes on 10:30 exactly. So let's say 124 is the mark that we're hoping to average throughout the race tonight.
Yeah, and they're probably just under that through that first lap, so flying off to a good start.
There's such a mix of athletes in this race as well. A couple of very young competitors stepping up to the 3K, maybe, well, if not the first time, second or third time, I would say, and a couple of marathoners. I know my club mates, Brianna Bunworth and Nadine Bainbridge, both right into the marathon scene right now. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who runs well tonight, coming straight onto the track, coming up from a shorter distance or coming down from quite a longer distance.
Yeah, the 3K definitely feel like a bit of a sprint after a marathon. They probably do 3K reps or something crazy.
Yeah, that's right. So our leaders at the moment, Dana Deckers of Glen Huntly. She's the one that she took over about 600 into it, and it looks like we may have a new leader that's made a bit of a move around there. From Williamstown, Orla Grenfell Fox, she's up there. Georgina Mees of Ballarat YCW, she's there also. So currently leading, that'll be Grenwell Fox of Williamstown. Brianna Kroll of Box Hill. She's sitting beside her. Tabbitt's there as well.
A big move around the outside. Looks like Georgina Mees of Ballarat YCW, a very strong little athletics athlete, I believe. She's looking just to tuck in a little bit further up that pack.
Right up 3:30 there at the 1K mark, so that's a 10:30 schedule as we see.
Yeah, so the new leader's now taken over and it's stringing out nicely. So there's also been a bit of an injection of pace. So sorry, that'll be Abby Goldsworthy sitting in second. Behind her is Olivia Weston of Knox Athletic Club. And Amira Tabbett of Coburg in the small figure, sitting in fourth at the moment. So it'll be Simone Brick of South Melbourne, who's our leader. From Goldsworthy, from Weston, from Tabbett.
first 5, just making a little bit of a gap. So come up with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Lloyd is also up there. Skelsonis is starting to make a move there, 4 laps to go.
So with just under 4 laps to go, Simone Brick, she'll continue to be our leader. Sitting behind her, Goldsworthy looking very comfortable. So too Tabbitt. On her inside, Olivia Weston of Knox continues to remain looking very comfortable, very relaxed.
You'd expect that coming in as our fastest seed athlete.
Yeah, that's right. So running well within herself at the moment. The other athlete, Rebecca Barry of Knox, she's moved up into that pack. So she's sitting in 5th. So the duo from Glen Huntly, they're working together very well. That'll be Vanessa Wilson and Dana Deckers. They're seated at 2:31 and 10:31 and 10:33. So they're happy to make their stake to the claim. Still Simone Brick continues to lead from Goldsworthy, from Watson, or Weston rather, to Tabbitt.
So many of the girls still in this. Way too early for us to start making ridiculous calls, I'd say.
Yeah, very, very sure. Interesting to see if this pack can separate themselves from the rest of the field as they approach the last K. I expect not.
So we're coming down now to get the 2 kilometre mark. Looks like the pace is lifted just slightly. So Brick goes through in 6:57.
So through 2K, we'll get a 6:57, 6:58 or so split. So if the girls can continue this pace, they'll run under 10:30. Now Rebecca Barry of Knox, she's made a bit of a move on the outside. Can she get to the front?
We're going to see a lot of moves over this remaining 2 laps with so many girls still in contention.
Yeah, that's definitely right.
So these 4 are starting to form a little gap, but we've seen this happen a couple times in this race and it's been bridged.
2 laps to go.
So with 2 laps to go, that'll be Rebecca Barry in the lead, and she looks like she's maybe slightly increasing on that.
Yeah, definitely strategically sat back early and let the other girls do some of the work before making a big move. Pretty far out still. With just over 600 to go.
So that's our front 3. Goldsworthy, a little bit of a gap now, about 5 metres. Number 15 then back to Wilson. Bainbridge starting to make a move.
So from Knox, Weston, she's worked her way back up. So the duo from Knox. Rebecca Barry and Olivia Weston, they're our first 2.
And our early leader, Simone Brick, just still hanging on there in 3rd place.
Yeah, she's still there. She won't be done with yet.
Very impressive. Great supporter of Big Mom, Victoria Skelsonis.
So my apologies this whole time. That has been Victoria Skelsonis of Knox. So she deserves a little bit more me time because she's made a big move with a couple of laps to go before, and now at the bell, she's got excited, and with 300 to go, Victoria Skelsonis, she's our leader. Who have you got at this stage, Lyndon?
Oh, I'd love our early leader to get a win for all her hard work. She's moved back into 2nd place, but the gap does look to be growing.
Yeah, Brick is still looking strong, and I reckon she might strike over this last 200. So Skelsonis still our leader with 200 to go. Skelsonis leads Brick coming Western in third. She's fallen off slightly, so it looks to be a race between two over the last 150. Brick, our earlier leader, she's working very hard to have her turn at the lead again. Scout Sonus doesn't want to give it up though. This is going to be a great finish. Brick is coming home hard, and Lyndon, you called it on the back straight. You wanted to see our earlier leader rewarded for her efforts, and Simone Brick will be. So Brick of South Melbourne, followed by Scout Sonus of Knox.
And they're well under that 10:30 that they all came in as their seed time, so that's great to see.
Many more PBs, and wouldn't it be nice to see it on the PB counter? So the next event for us will be the men's C, 3,000 metres.
Now we're getting up to the pointy end of the night, guys. Only, what is it, 4 races to go?
Yeah, that's right.
Men's C, men's B, women's A, men's A.
So the men's C are out on the track. Why don't you read us through the list, Michael?
Why don't I, James? So, Joshua Maisie from Doncaster, Jake Stevens, Mornington, Rick Whitehead, Athletics Waverley, Harrison Bagley from South Australia, Eric Udaya, Melbourne Uni, Patrick Matthews, Keele St Bernards, Steve Deneen, Box Hill, Alexander Skies, St Bernards, Marco Pitasano, St Bernards, Luke McElvena from Athletics Essendon, there you go Lyndon, Nathan Pearce, Williamstown, Matthew Crowley, Mentone, Aidan Roberts, Diamond Valley, Lachlan Eno, Frankston, Chris Rancy, Diamond Valley, Ethan Anthony, Mornington Peninsula, Mac Anderson, Box Hill, Callum Day, St Kevin's, Harrison Carr, Old Scotch, Patrick, Jackson, Deacon, and they are some big names in this men's C race. And we're going to cross down to Lachlan Rayner now to interview the winner of our women's B.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, I'm down here, and we'll get in quickly before this next race starts, but I'm here with the winner of the Women's B 3000, a mountain runner I just learnt as well. So first time at a 3K, congratulations, 10:18, but you must be happy.
Yeah, super happy. Like, anything was a PB, but to go 10:18, I'm like, that's about where I wanted to be, so sounds good.
You definitely knew what you were doing. You got taken over from first position there with about 2 laps to go, and then sort of had enough at the end to get the competitor there back. Did you know you had a little bit left?
Yeah, and I've had bad experience with going too early before, so I knew to just take it easy and then kick down in that last lap. So yeah, experience helps.
Well, congratulations. Are we going to see you on the track in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Always, yeah.
Awesome. Well, good run. We'll throw back up to commentary for the next C 3,000 metres, but congratulations again, and we look forward to seeing you later on.
Thank you.
So, Lyndon, you were saying you had a couple of your training partners in this race.
Exactly.
Bit of inside
good to
scoop,
see
share with us.
A few Wolfpack members out there on the track. Training was definitely a bit quiet tonight with these races coming up. But I did promise one Josh Maisie a bit of a shout out. He recently paced his Doncaster clubmate through the about halfway of the Frankfurt Marathon and managed to go through halfway in a PB for himself. So yeah, fresh off the plane. So we'll see how he's going with half a marathon and jet lag in his legs. But I know he's pretty keen to be racing. So
Now, distance runners are tough. He'll be right.
So the top of the seeded athletes here, and half the field is within 2 or 3 seconds of each other in 8:48 for Josh Maisie and a few others at the front. So to run at 8:45 tonight, which might be the aim for a few of them, that's 70 seconds per lap. 1 minute 10 per lap should be pretty easy to work out as we go along this race. So it looks like in the lead, the athlete from Diamond Valley in Chris Rancy, and he's taken the pack through in a solid time of 68 seconds. Towards the back of him, coming through in about 71. So everyone well within PB range after one lap, as you would expect.
And already out in single file, completely opposite to what we saw in that last girls' race.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
the only one running wide is my friend Josh. We did say he was crazy.
marathoner. He can run the extra distance, you reckon?
So our leader through this lap, that'll be Aiden Roberts of Diamond Valley. Sitting behind him will be Ethan Anthony too of Mornington Peninsula. And tucked very close behind him of Frankston, that'll be Lachlan Eno. So, as said, the pace has certainly been injected. The field strung out very nicely. For these boys can tuck in, they'll be in for some good times.
And this is a whole field that is very likely to go under the 9-minute mark. Some very, very, I guess, depth of endurance runners in Victoria here. Very lucky to have Milers Club races like this. So, and this is only the C race as well. And we expect everyone to go under the 9-minute mark.
And it's also only the second week of November.
Exactly. So Josh Maisie's still up there. Also, old mate Alex Rancy from Diamond Valley, who's taking the lead. Ethan Anthony from Mornington hanging in there, as is the athlete from Frankston as well. Athlete from Frankston in Lachlan Eno. Jake Stevens, I think he's commentated a couple of these Vic Miles races actually as well. So, friend of Athletics Exclusive, Jake Stevens, sitting in 5th place there.
And looking very comfortable as well.
Yeah, probably more of an 800 runner, you would say. So
Yeah.
a little bit further than he's used to, but I guess that's good early in the season.
He was out doing a lot of the XCR races this season though. So although an 800 runner, he's been clearly working hard over the winter. So might pay off tonight, we'll see. Good on him for doing a range of events, not just focusing on the one.
So Roberts of Diamond Valley, he continues to lead. Followed by Anthony, followed by Eno. Followed by Maisie, followed by Stevens.
Kind of looking like the old Zatopek formation, isn't it? Where they're strung out and they're kind of breaking off into 2 packs. Nathan Pearce hanging on to the back of that front pack. Smart move.
Looking very smooth, isn't he, Nathan?
Nathan. Oh, do you know Nathan? Do you, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, done a couple of runs with him.
Yeah, every now and then.
Not a bad bloke, Nathan.
No,
Give
very
him a
good
shout
bloke.
out.
So Steve Deneen, he looks like he's bridged the gap between, I want to say, a lead pack and a chase pack, but it's not quite.
Packs are changing so much already.
So Steve Deneen, full of experience over these track races, over the distances of Box Hill. He's sitting in 6th place at the moment.
And right there is our 8:45 mark. So the top 10 or so athletes are all around that 8:45 pace for the 3K. So that's just through the first 4 laps.
Yeah, plenty of PBs tonight.
The race is really simple here. It's Roberts.
So Roberts will continue to lead. NL Frankston right behind him. Anthony of Peninsula. Maisie of Doncaster. Stevens of Mornington Peninsula. Deneen of Box Hill.
I'd love to see someone else take the lead actually after this lap. Give Roberts a little bit of a rest. He's been doing
he's
all
led
the
from the
work.
gun, hasn't he?
I kind of feel a bit bad for him. Oh, the race is what you make it though, isn't it?
It is.
If you don't want to do the work out the front, just don't do it.
That's
Someone
right.
else will, especially in a Milers Club meet. Although we say that, the APS 3K final a couple of weeks ago, that was extremely slow for the first 2Ks. Very tactical race, but we won't see that at Milers Club.
Well, we will see the winner of that in one of the 3Ks, the next men's 3K, I believe, Matthew Hussey.
We will. Young athlete from St Kevin's.
But speaking of sharing the workload, Steve Deneen, he's never one to shy away from sharing the workload.
Loves a bit of hard work, Steve Deneen does.
He does, doesn't he? And he's got the boys going. So Deneen's our new leader. Sitting behind him is Anthony Roberts, now tucked in third, our earlier leader.
That's good from Roberts as well, just taking a bit of a rest now. Hopefully he stays there for a little bit, doesn't just continue to slip down the pack. It looks like he's holding that position pretty well.
That's right. And I think we should give a plug to our interstaters. Harrison Bagley of South Australia. He's put himself in 6th position. He's sitting comfortably in that pack. Now, Alexander Sykes of Keilor St. Bernard's, he joined that pack on the last lap, and he looks like he's making a bit of a move on the outside, maybe putting his hand up to share some of the workload.
Off camera, but we see Nathan Pearce take a couple of athletes on the back straight and work his way up towards that front pack now. He hasn't raced track for a while, and he'd be wrapped with anything under 850. Steve Deneen, though, through the first, and the whole pack of the 5 or 6, through 2.4 Ks, 2,400 metres in 7 minutes, right on that 8:45 pace.
Yeah, and I reckon Nate's got a bit of a sniff of Maisie dropping off. I suppose that half marathon and right off the plane, that's made it tricky for him. So Pearce will get a bit of a confidence boost as he moves around him, but we have a new leader, and that's from Keilor St. Bernard's. That'll be Alexander Sykes. So he's taking the lead. Sykes leading, Deneen sitting closely behind him.
1 lap to go. They need to close in about 70 seconds, which they've been doing all night to get under that 8:45. So you could have a few. I'd pick 2 of them to get under 8:45.
No, I'm picking 6 of them. Those first 2 will get under it. Look at those legs of Deneen go.
Check out Jake Stevens on the back straight, though. He's taking 1, he's taking 2, he's taking 3. Deneen hanging on just after our front runner in Alexander Skies from Keilor St. Bernard's. So Alexander Skies followed by Deneen. They've gone through 200 metres to go in 8:05, so only need 40 seconds to go over that last 200 metres. Jake Stevens running very strongly in third. Deneen coming up on the shoulder.
Deneen's unloaded.
What do you reckon, Coleman? You take it from here.
Oh, Deneen, surely he's got this, and he deserves it too, because he was the one that put his hand up to share the workload. So he certainly deserves a win here. Sykes now in second of Keilor St. Bernard's. Stevens, being an 800 runner, is not an excuse, because he's run a beautiful 3K. Our South Australian in Harrison Bagley crosses the line, and there we go. That's 6 of them under 8:45.
Well done, James. That's what we love to see. Proving my low predictions wrong.
That's it. Got to go with the positivity.
Great run. We'll shout out to one of our mates, Nathan Pearce, 8:46. Massive run from him. He missed last track season and has come back very, very strong. I think he would have surprised himself in that one. So, yeah, plenty of great runs. He hasn't disappointed tonight.
Yeah, huge run. May have surprised himself, but hasn't surprised his mates who've been training with him, because he's been putting in a lot of work, and that's well deserved. So next race will be our men's B 3K. And again, this will be full of excitement. So Lockie has hopefully got our winner, Steve Deneen, now ready to do an interview with him and get a bit of an insight into the well-experienced Steve Deneen. Down to you, Lockie.
Thanks, James. Yes, I am down here with an old-timer here. I remember racing you quite a few times, but good to see you back out there. You put down a seed time of 8:50, 8:36. You must be happy.
Yeah, really happy. I haven't sort of done much track work for a few years, trying to get back into it, and slowly after the marathons coming out of my legs, I'm starting to get them back into shape and some speed in them.
Talk us through that race. There was quite a big pack there for a little while. It did split up into about 4 or 5 athletes, and then you were challenged right there by the Keilor St. Bernard's athletes in Alexander Sykes. What was going through your head?
I've got on the start line and haven't sort of raced many of these guys before. I think I was probably 18 before most of them were born, so I see them out there today. It's sensational to see them out there. The boys I just love it. The young guys run on feel, they run without fear. So the boys took the pace up early and just set a nice rhythm. And with about K to go, I said, well, I want to keep it at least under 8:40. So I took over and just kept it continuous. And then who came past me? Was it
Alexander Sykes.
Alexander, he was beautiful. He came past me, kept it strong. I kind of came past him last 150 and challenged him, but he pushed me to get under 8:35, and hopefully I helped him get under 8:40.
Well, it was a great last lap. battle there between you two. So thank you for that, and I'm sure the stream appreciate it. We'll give you a bit of time. There is an event you're running at the end of November. Did you want to give that a bit of a plug?
Yeah, we've got the Box Hills having to meet the White Horse Twilights for 400 metre runners, 1500 metre runners, shot put and long jump. That's on November 29th, which is a Thursday night. It's kind of like a mile type of meet. So there'll be pace setters. Anyone wants to come in, come on down. It's on the Box Hill Facebook page, also on the Box Hill website. I think it's $15 to enter, and looking forward to it.
And we will be covering it as well, so looking forward to being down there.
Happy to get the best in the business, and good luck to Harry Summers in the 3K tonight.
Cool, thank you very much. We'll throw back up to you guys for the next race.
Bit of a legend of the local Athletics Victoria running scene there, and doing great things, coaching and still on the track, and obviously down with Box Hill Athletic there. So a great event coming up. We'd love to have lots of well-paced races throughout the summer season, including Milers Club and the likes of Box Hill, Melbourne Uni and Richmond Harriers putting on their various events throughout the season. So James, reading out the names of this men's B race, which is going to be quite a fast one.
Yeah, I certainly reckon it will be. I reckon it'll be faster than the seed times that have been put down. So leading this field with the fastest seed time will be Michael Kernahan of Mentone, and William Collins of Knox Athletic Club, Sam Toll of Glen Huntly, Edward Bysher of Old Scotch, Matthew Hussey of Western Athletics, Harry Norman of Yarra Rangers, Alistair Christie of Doncaster, Jack Idder of Diamond Valley, Tom Crouch of St Stephen's, John Portwood of Doncaster, Daniel D'Alberto of Frankston, Killian Jansen of Athletics Waverley, Mason Scott of Essendon, Matthew Tonge of Western Athletics, James O'Connell of Box Hill, Matthew Scott of Melbourne Uni, Thomas Selwood of Box Hill, Tristan Day of St Kevin's, and Craig Appleby from Knox Athletic Club. So I'm very interested to see Matthew Hussey in this race after his APS 3K win that we spoke about a little bit earlier. He did a steeple on the weekend at the Vic All Schools and he took that out. And he's put down 8:40, so I expect he'll run quicker than that. And from memory last year, him and Liam Cashin worked really well in this heat. In fact, of the 3K, and I think went 1-2. So,
yeah, just the future of Western Athletics. Something to look forward to in the
that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, bright future at Western Athletics. They're doing something right down there.
No, I can't wait for this race. They're to break the 8:37 barrier, which will be the front of the pack. It'll be 69 seconds per lap. 8:30s, they're heading for a 68 second per lap. If you think a couple of the athletes might be nudging that, which, may be on the cards. 68, 69 seconds. So, see how they go. Is that Sam Russell out the front of the pack who ran the 800 metres earlier tonight?
I believe it might be, actually. Maybe he's helping the boys out with a bit of pacing.
Good on the lad, making the most of his trip over from South Australia.
Yeah, that's right. Why not get a few extra Ks in the legs?
Yeah,
Speedy warm down.
Yeah, no, that's really good of him.
So whether or not he's pacing, he's checking his watch closely. So my guess is that he's pacing.
Yeah.
So Kernahan is tucked in nicely behind him.
Yeah, getting that old 300 metre split.
Yeah, that's right.
So 68 second laps, we've just been told by race director, I guess you could call him, Tim Crosby.
Yeah. So with Kernahan, it'll be Sam Toll and Tristan Day that are tucked in very nicely, and same with Hussey. So the field's strung out nicely. I didn't quite get a read on that first lap. Did either of you guys?
I think it was about the 68, 69 range. Sam Russell's furiously checking his watch every 100 metres or so, and he's keeping a pace. There we go, Ryan Q.
And you can tell he's an 800 runner. Like, look how smooth he looks at this pace. He looks like he's just out for a jog as he's pulling these boys along. So
Matt Hussey is absolutely itching, though.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's just waiting. I think Kernahan is someone who loves the Ks.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? And the Strava segments. Well known for his Strava segment taking down. So Kernahan to Hussey to Sam Toll.
Toll's an athlete who's been around for years as well. I remember him in the back in the under 14 age group of running all schools for years. So he's someone who's developed nicely, as has a few others in the field, like with the likes of Hussey. So go through 2 laps
2:18, so that's that 69-second range.
Yeah, so they might be just a little bit slower than they'd like to be, but I think that's probably not a bad thing, especially if a few of them are itching to kind of get out there. If they can just be patient, relax, then I reckon we're in for a bit of a treat over this last K. So Kernahan still sitting in second, Hussey just behind him and Toll on his shoulder.
I love how diligent Sam Russell is, checking his watch. I think it's every like 30 metres now.
Yeah. He wants to do a good job for the boys.
Exactly. If he can keep up that pace, and if that's what it means, that's fine.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, isn't he? The field's strung out nicely. So again, still Kernahan, Hussey, Toll, Tristan Day. I believe too Harry Norman of Yarra Rangers is up there. Jack Itter of Diamond Valley making a bit of a charge on the outside.
And Sam Tollin there, one of my training partners, definitely been putting in some hard work over the winter. Not that I was here. But yeah, he's been
So
looking...
you heard anyway.
Yeah, so I heard. Did train with him on Tuesday, so I was there once. But yeah, been looking really good and really consistent, so expect a big season from him.
So he's in good shape now, you reckon?
Yeah, and he's sitting in a beautiful spot there.
Give him a time. What do you predict for Sam Toll?
Oh, I'm really bad
To put you on the spot.
pressure.
Yeah, on the spot now.
You can pick what he's written down at
Yeah,
his
I was
set
gonna say,
time,
what did he
plus 2
enter
seconds or something.
All right, I don't even know if that's a real PB, but let's say 8:35.
8:35.
Nice round
Okay.
number.
Oh, you've said it.
I know. He'll be in trouble at training if he misses it.
So he's Sam Russell, what a job he's doing.
Might run the whole thing at this rate.
Yeah, he's not just out to pace for 1 or 2 laps. He's been in for a solid 4 laps, basically. So Kernahan sits behind him, Hussey relaxed behind him, Ida there, so too Tristan Day, Harry Norman, Baisha, Daniel D'Alberto. He had a great all-schools campaign over the weekend. He took out a couple of gold medals in the 1500 and 3K, so he's obviously in good shape at the moment.
They went through in about a 4:35 by the looks of it, which gives them about an 8:35, 8:36.
Yeah, and they're going to close hard too. So Russell, he stepped off the track. Thank you very much for your pacing.
Yeah, put him on a contract Milers Club game over every meet. That was pretty good
I reckon.
pacing by Sam Russell there.
Athlete's dream.
Yeah.
So Kernahan continues to lead. Baisha of Old Scotch, that's the red figure on the outside. He looks like he's making a bit of a move up there, but Hussey, he sits right behind Kernahan with Sam Toll. Lyndon Hall's big tip for this race, looking very comfortable.
We're on the spot now. Kernahan out
That's
the
it.
front. He doesn't mind a bit of hard work, and Baisha and Hussey have had some battles over the past couple of years in the APS competition, both on the track and the cross country. So once again, it might be a bit of a showdown between the two.
So Kernahan continuing to lead now, just tacking on to the back of that pack, the St. Stephen's athlete, Tom Crouch.
Get around him.
Get around him. He's looking comfortable, trailing just on the back of that pack, and he's got time where he's still very much in this race.
So 5:44 for that front pack, and that gives them about an 8:35, 8:36. So many will head towards a PB, and quite a quick time. Some juniors in that race might give him a berth at Zatopek.
Yeah, I reckon. And you were spot on before about Hussey itching to get out. So Hussey's taking the lead, and on his shoulder, Craig Appleby of Knox, the very experienced runner from Knox.
Showing his patience, actually. We haven't seen him in the top few all race, and now he's just edging his way towards the finish with
He's showing a lot of patience, and he's ready to strike too. Sam Toll, though, your pick still looking very good, Lyndon.
Sitting very nicely in third there.
In a
having
very
great
good
run,
spot.
not doing any work. Bit of a change. Usually I like to sit on him, so nice that he's got someone for once.
Now D'Alberto, he's made a bit of a move on the outside.
Norman just starting to feel the pitch a little bit here, falling off. Dave's in a little bit of trouble. He's got to try and get back on Kernahan.
So Appleby's now a new leader. Hussey sits behind him. D'Alberto sitting in third. Sam Toll fourth. Baisha behind him. And Ita of Diamond Valley. That's our lead pack as they approach 500 metres.
And that pace is not slowed at all. They still went through in exactly that same tempo as they have the last 4-5 laps. So Craig Appleby taking still in the lead. He's experienced over the longer distance and he's showing his endurance here. D'Alberto going with that lead couple in Hussey and Appleby. 7:24 with 1 lap to go. That means they need to clear about a 71-second final lap, and they'll go much quicker. They might even head towards the, I'm going to say an 8:32 for Hussey for the win.
Hussey has exploded now in the back straight. D'Alberto trying to go with him. Now this is the kind of speed that saw Hussey win that APS 3K.
It did. He closed in about a 1:57, I believe, last 800, so he's well experienced in fast closing. D'Alberto not too far behind Hussey, and Appleby, very, very good run indeed. So Hussey going past the pole vault and steeplechase, which he jumped over on the weekend to win a gold medal, and it looks like he's going to win this race as well. Coming into the front straight in the lead, he's crushing this race. He's waited for the perfect time. Look at that turnover of speed by Hussey. 8:32, I was kidding myself. An 8:24 for Matt Hussey. That is huge. A time it would well and truly see him running Zatopek in a few weeks. Plenty of PBs. And,
8:35 for Sam, I called it.
8:35 or 8:34?
I hope 8:34.
Yeah.
That's still under 8:35. So I still win.
Go with your prediction, 8:35.
Yeah.
34.99.
That's well done, Lyndon. You can tell him that on the weekend that you had faith in him and that you predicted his exact time.
Yeah, we went for a jog yesterday. I tried to get some insights, anything to throw out there on the commentary. Held his cards pretty closely.
Plenty of PBs in that one. That was a very exciting race. That was very well run by so many of the boys. Very consistent as well in the middle stages.
Yeah, it really was, and a good strong finish. And D'Alberto of Frankston with the nice long hair there, he had a great finish, rounding out in second. And after a good campaign at all schools on the weekend, I can't say I'm too surprised that he ran that well. So what's our next race? Is this the
women's A race?
Women's AK?
Got to the pointy end of the night. Lyndon, what are we thinking?
Oh, there's a lot of girls in here who been running really well lately. I think after Noosa Bold, I'm going to go with Nat Rule after her run up there.
I would tend to agree, actually. I think, she's been running very consistently, and it's just about due for a breakout performance, time-wise, I think.
Yeah, I expect Charlotte Wilson to be pretty close, though, as well. She's had a great last 12 months or so. But yeah, I reckon it should be a pretty good race for the girls.
Do you want to just call out the names, just while we wait on Lockie to interview Matt and for him to catch his breath?
Yeah, I reckon we got time. Yep. So lining up in our women's A race, we have Maddie Murray of Deakin, Henrietta Lawrence of Frankston, Charlotte Wilson, Athletics Essendon, Nat Rule of Knox Athletics, Whitney Sharp of St Stephen's, Lucinda Buckley, Melbourne Uni, Anna Saw of Glen Huntly, Katie Gamble of Knox, Sophie O'Sullivan of Glen Huntly, Jane Grabinski of South Melbourne, Bridget Seeley of Nuttawading, Megan Dixon of Chilwell, Annabelle Eastman, Sandringham, Amy Robinson, Collingwood, Shania Murray of Diamond Valley, Naima Tabit of Coburg, Monique Goldworthy of Williamstown, and Lauren Connell of Athletics Essendon.
Okay, and over to you, Lockie, for a quick interview with our race winner of the B, Matt Hussey.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, we're going to grab Matthew just for a quick interview. A great run there. You did run last weekend, so you've got a pretty busy schedule, but 8:24.3, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. That should get me into Zatopek, so it's planned, hopefully be competitive there, and just sort of go to Falls Creek and get a good block in to cross, and then hopefully World Juniors next year.
Well, you've done well. Just talk us through that race just quickly. What were your thoughts? Were you feeling good? Did you know you had that time in you?
I wasn't sure. Sort of been questioning fitness past few weeks. Had a few good races, but haven't been totally sure. And so heard the pacer pulled out, which is kind of disappointing. Another bloke stepped in. Kernahan came down, so it all sort of came together. And then going through like 5:44 through 2K, knew I was going to have to take a drop to get a PB. So it was like 2:40 last K, so I'm not complaining whatsoever.
Well, it was a great run. We will throw back to this race, but congratulations. Good luck for getting into Zatopek, but we hope we see you there.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
And our top seed, Maddie Murray has gone straight to the front, and Charlotte Wilson looks to be sitting there in second behind her.
So Madeline Murray was seated at 9:15, so a bit ahead of the other girls, but with a bit of pack running maybe tonight, who knows if she'll be going for a PB or just to have a good hit out and a win. So if she is going for that 9:15, she's looking at 74 second laps, which is just slightly off so far.
Yeah, it's her first race back in a little while. Had a relatively interrupted, probably last 12 months or so. So great to see her back racing. By all reports, she's had some good training now, which is great to hear.
75 laps, however, will get the pack a 9:22, 9:20, and the win will get the athletes $125. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? So maybe we should have a look at that mark, see if they can be around that 75 second per lap mark. $125 in their pocket for the win.
Yep, and I reckon Murray's getting after that. She's got a little bit of a lead on the group. So Natalie Rule, Charlotte Wilson, Whitney Sharp of St. Stephen's. That will be the three that are leading the charge to track down Madeline Murray.
Sophie O'Sullivan in the middle of the pack as well. Still relatively young athlete. She actually won the silver medal at the European Junior Championships running for Ireland. So Sophie's mum, Sonia O'Sullivan, former champion athlete in her own right. So Sophie in the race tonight. Doesn't often run over the 3K, so we'll see how she goes as well. 10 minutes she's been seated at.
She's full of versatility. So she medalled in the 1500 at All Schools on the weekend, and she also won the 400 and high jump. And now we see her here tonight in the 3K. So
yeah, hard to beat over those APS cross-country races as well. So as the seeds suggest, Madeline Murray has got a gap over the rest of the field as they just sit nicely in the, let's call it a peloton again.
Yeah,
I like that word.
It's about 3:12 through that first K.
So they're a little bit off that incentive bonus at the moment then. 3:12 through the first K.
Yeah, maybe we just look forward to the race as the pack goes on and the race develops.
Yeah, so Nat Rule, she had that good run at the Noosa Bolt over the weekend. She's leading that chase pack. Whitney Sharp right on her heels. Katie Gamble of Knox just behind, and then Charlotte Wilson of Athletics Essendon, just for you, Lyndon.
There we go. And both Natalie and Whitney in second and third there had great seasons last year, over 1,500 meters as well. So they might have a little more in the legs come the end of the race, bit of speed.
Yeah, certainly. And even Whitney too with the endurance. She had the good run at the Lakeside 10 throughout the cross-country season. She was second in the 10K road race here at Lakeside.
As well as a 5th place up in the Mitchell Street Mile in Darwin not too long ago. Bit of a precursor to a good track season, I'm sure.
Yeah, even more recently. So she's definitely one to watch out for. It looks like a gap may be forming. So Rule, Sharp, Gamble. They're the three that trail our leader.
And then Charlotte Wilson and Lucy Buckley lead out sort of chase pack, or sort of second chase pack almost there. Lucy's first go over the 3K, so guaranteed PB for her.
You love that. That's just to a new distance. If anyone wants a PB this season, hasn't done the mile race at Melbourne Uni, that's a good one to do for a PB. Get your own mile PB. First time you've done it.
Yeah, I pulled that card a couple of years ago.
And look where you are now. Australian record.
I think the gap's starting to close now.
But it does look like our second and third place athletes are closing in a little bit on Maddie Murray's early aggression, but still a solid lead.
As we said, Nat Rule, one to watch tonight.
Yeah, they certainly are closing on our leader. Rule and Sharp are working together very nicely. That gap has closed quickly. Now Annabelle Eastman looks like she's making a bit of a move through that chase pack.
Well, hopefully these three girls, now that they've caught Maddie, are able to work together a little bit. Maddie might enjoy herself a little more rather than being out there on her own.
Yeah, it looks like she's actually picked her pace up
almost like she's allowed them to get right up to her now, work together. The three of them, as you said, Lyndon.
Bunch of three. Murray still leads. Rule content to sit there.
So Rule got a very nice sit right on Murray's shoulder.
Smart racing by Rule, but I don't know if she'll be willing to sit there for too long. She looks like it's a bit hard sometimes when you work your way up with such a speed, and then just to slow down a little bit and sit on someone just for the sake of sitting. It's not always the easiest thing to do.
That's right, but I think Whitney Sharp's pretty happy to be doing that right about now. She's looking very comfortable.
Murray's not giving it away lightly, so she's got the inside rower running. She's making Rule work to go past her.
So Katie Gamble, she's sitting in fourth. She's got a bit of a gap on the chase pack, but she's just off the lead pack, so
she comes in with a PB of 9:59, Katie Gamble, so she's having a very, very good run tonight.
Oh, she certainly is. She'll be in for a big PB.
So it's Rule, Sharp, Murray, Gamble, Buckley and Robinson, the next two positions.
So Buckley, Robinson, they're leading our chase pack. O'Sullivan sitting right behind them, so too's Eastman. So Rule taken over, and it looks like there's been a bit of an injecture of pace. Sharp very happy to go with it.
Murray's not been dropped, so still racing free. Gamble's still totally on her own. 30 metres to the lead pack and then another 60 back behind her.
So they've gone through in a, I think it was 7:38, 7:39 with 600 metres to go, which gives them about 9:35, 9:36, which is around PB range for Whitney Sharp and Nat Rule.
Yeah, I reckon they may even give that 6:35 a real crack, because they're only going to come home harder this last 400. So Sharp looking very comfortable, and you know, as soon as she hears the bell, she's going to strike.
I don't know much about Sharp. I know Nat Rule is a very strong runner. We'll see who has the turn of speed in the last 400 metres as they go through in 8:15. So looking for about an 82nd last lap to get under that 9:35.
Oh, they'll do that for sure.
9:33 for Whitney Sharp for mine.
Yeah, I reckon she could even go under 9:30. She's going to have a big injection of pace over this last 300.
Just looks to be turning her legs a little bit quicker than Rule, although Rule is hanging on quite nicely.
Rule's responded, but there goes Sharp. She's showing that speed that she's got.
Bring us home, Lyndon.
And Sharp's really pulled away now as we go into the last 200. But Nat's chasing hard there, but I think we might have had this all wrapped up. I think we've got our winner. She's flying into the home straight.
Madeline Murray still hanging on for a very good run. Went out pretty hard, a bit gutsy. We see Whitney Sharp just ticking those legs over so quickly as she powers towards the finish line. And she's going to break 9:30 here, well and truly.
Easy done.
He's 9:21. I think I said 9:33. I was well off. A massive PB. Huge PB for Nat Rule as well, about 9:25 there. Solid run by Madeline Murray. And massive PB from our other Knox athlete in Katie Gamble.
And O'Sullivan now, she's had a good charge over the back straight. But there was chasers coming right after her, but O'Sullivan, she'll lead from that chase pack.
Then Goldsworthy, so run another PB, it's a sub 10.
Huge run from Goldsworthy, young athlete from Williamstown Athletic. About a 15-second or so PB.
That's wonderful. I feel like we've said PB so many times tonight. And that's exciting, because again, it's a beautiful night here at Lakeside Stadium.
Great run. Very impressive there from Whitney Sharp.
So there's one more race to go, the men's 3K, but in the meantime, I'm sure Lockie will be able to get Whitney Sharp, our winner of the women's A 3,000 metres.
Women's.
So when you're ready, Lockie.
Thanks, James. Yes, I'm down here with the winner of that 3,000. A great race. A little bit of a battle there with 400 metres to go, but a 9:21.6, a PB, a massive PB, 9:43 you were saying. Talk us through that one.
Just tried to stay comfortable at the start and stay as relaxed as I could, and then sort of stick on that lead pack until I made the move, I guess.
And you did have a little bit of a battle with Nat Rule there with the last lap. How much did she help you, I guess, get into the rhythm?
Oh, awesome. I was serving her the whole way, so sorry, Nat. But I trained with her a bit and she's awesome, so yeah, just thought I'd stick on her.
Well, congratulations. A great run, a good PB. We will throw back up to commentary for the A men's 3,000 metre race, but congratulations again, and good luck for the rest of the season.
And good luck to all the St Stephen's boys.
Thank you. Back up to you guys.
St Stephen's.
Has she been listening to our commentary? She said that on purpose for you, James.
I reckon she did. Thanks, Whit.
Okay, the start line of the men's A 3,000 metre race. We have Harry Summers of Box Hill, Ben Buckingham of St Stephen's, James Hanson of Knox, Tom Forthorpe of Ringwood, Adam Pike, St Kevin's, Will Potter, I think he prefers Box Hill, Cody Shanahan, my race favourite, Western Athletics, Tom Thorpe, St Stephen's, Mitchell Cashin, St Stephen's, Michael Marantelli, boundary umpire for the AFL, Victorian Cross Country League, Charlie Park, Melbourne Uni, Grant Muir, Athletics Chilwell, Tim Logan, Diamond Valley, Matthew O'Donnell from Box Hill, Ridding Cowley, our race walker, endurance guru from Glen Huntley, Wan Chow Louis, Singaporean under-20 record holder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1,500 and 5K from Doncaster, Peter Green, Box Hill, Tim Norton, Ringwood, and from Box Hill to close out the field, Nicholas Baggett. So they have two pacemakers in this race. By the looks of it, Lockie Mann and is that Matty Clark
sure is
in second place. So two pacemakers to take them through. 64-second laps will help them break 8 minutes. And if they do so, they will earn $125. If they break it by a lot and get under 752, they will earn themselves $500. So a bit of money on the line. 8 minutes, I think, will be the aim for a few of these top athletes.
So no surprise, Summer has got right on the back of the paces. So Summers to Hanson to Adam Pike of St Kevin's. There are first three. Then Tim Logan tucked in nicely behind them. Ben Buckingham's there too. So too Will Potter. And Cody Shanahan looking ever so comfortable in the middle of the pack. So the field spread out nicely. So that'll be Summers to Hanson, to Pike, to Logan, to Forthorpe, to Buckingham.
So many quick moving legs in this field. Everyone just looks like they're going so fast. So they all look pretty relaxed in this long formation here. No pelotons, chase packs or anything to be spoken of yet.
No, this is exactly what you want, isn't it?
And is kind of close to their seed order as well, which makes it easy for us to call. So Harry Summers just sitting in nicely, and he goes through. They go through in a 2:09, so it's around that 8 minute to
just above 8 minutes.
Yeah, just above 8 minute pace, which I think a few people in this pack you'd say are capable of.
Oh, certainly. So Summers, I think he could be the one to go under 8. Shanahan again, one we've mentioned earlier to watch out, but James Hanson of Knox, he's got those wheels over the 1,500, so watch out for him, and so too does Adam Pike of St Kevin's.
I know Tim Norton's been doing a lot of endurance work over the winter, particularly with Jared Clifford as well, so he'll be figuring in the placings tonight as well. He'll be right up there anyway.
Yeah, Logan certainly had a good cross-country season.
So I wonder how long these pacemakers hanging on for. Lockie Mann will probably pull out first, then let Clark do a bit more of the work.
Yeah, I imagine Clark could go through a couple of K at this pace. He certainly had a good winter season. You know, most notably his performances at the Tan, and then also the Lakeside 10K. He ran a low 29 for the 10 on the road, so that was certainly a prominent run for him.
So they've slipped down to about an 8:05 pace after 3 laps, so will require a bit of a kick down at the end to go for that incentive money, but I think the race will be just as exciting as we see
Cody Shanahan move up the field, up on the shoulder past Tim Norton, right on the back of Ben Buckingham and Tom Forthorpe. Some elite guys really at the front of this field of Victorian distance runners. Yeah, that's right. And we've had the old Zatopek split of 2 packs with a few towards the back of the field as well, doing what they can to hang on to a solid tempo. So Lockie Mann may just peel off. All right, and he just has peeled off. And there's Matty Clark, who might lead him through another couple. So Harry Summers right on his back. 4:18, they go through the 4 laps in, which gives them So Summers, he's our leader just behind our pacemaker and Matthew Clark. James Hansen right behind him, so too Tom Forthorpe, the 2 training partners, they'll work well together. Ben Buckingham, the winner of this race last year, he's lurking right behind them. If he's there with 400 to go, he will be very dangerous. So Adam Pike just falling off a little bit, Shanahan right on his heels.
So it's our 3 from last year, plus Harry Summers in this front pack. Ben Buckingham, we saw him burn some speed on Zach Patterson at the end of the race towards last year, and he's in a similar position right now. Cody Shanahan a bit further back. We see just passing Adam Pike on the back straight, but at the front, Clarkey is just pulled off to the right, and letting the boys do all the work now as Harry Summers bridges a gap over the next 3. I don't think that will last for too long. Or might it? He's gaining metres on Hansen, Forthorpe and Buckingham as we see him go into the front straight. You can see the pain in Harry Summers' face. Maybe that's just, he kind of has that grit every time he runs. It sort of maybe looks like he's in pain, but he's actually, maybe he's just loving it out there.
Yeah, maybe he is. He's certainly one of the most gutsy runners going around and has been for some time. James Hansen, he looks like he's going to be the one to bridge that gap. Forthorpe right behind him, and Buckingham, he's still about. So Hansen, he looks like he'll be the one to close the gap. Now here goes Buckingham. Buckingham, he's made his move a little bit earlier than he did last year.
The thing is, Forthorpe and Hansen are they're more your speed guys, more your 800, 1500 guys. Summers is your endurance man. That's why he's probably gone early, and that's why the others have maybe waited a little bit, as Buckingham did last year as well. So they've gone through in 6:28, round about that 8:05 3K finishing time. So they'll be close to the incentive prize, but I think a few of them are just looking for the win at this stage, and it will be exciting last 500 metres, guys.
Yeah, that's right. So Summers, the big aerobic engine. But Hansen looks like he's closing, so I think Summers could be in a little bit of trouble here because Hansen, he'll have the speed over the back straight. Buckingham off Hansen just slightly, so I think this will be between Hansen and Summers. Hansen looking very strong, very dangerous.
Hansen 7:57, there I said it.
Wow, there we go, okay. Michael said it, he hasn't been so optimistic all night, but he is now. And over the back straight, so this is going to be very interesting. Summers is holding him off.
Forthorpe has a nice turn of speed. He's ticking his legs over quite quickly and coming up onto Buckingham's shoulder in 3rd place. But Summers, I think he's even extending that lead now over Hansen. Forthorpe has moved himself into 3rd place. Cody Shanahan having an unbelievable run down in 5th place and slowly catching up to Buckingham, but it's all Harry Summers who enters the front straight first. He will take the lead despite what I predicted. Hansen in 2nd place. Forthorpe and Buckingham not too far behind, James.
Yeah, so Summers, he's going to take that out. And look, he's not going to be far away all from that 7:57 you predicted. Forthorpe, the strong finish. Now Buckingham finishing strong again. So 8:04. Buckingham replicated a very similar time that he did last year. Forthorpe may have got a little bit of revenge on him. Shanahan.
8:09, 8:10, I think.
Yeah,
Tim
great
Norton.
run. Thomas Thorpe, what a run. He had a strong finish over the back straight, and he's dipped 8:20. I reckon that's about an 8:17.
Huge runs from the field in this race.
Yeah, very big runs. Very exciting, and Harry Summers, he deserved that win. He got right on the back of the Pacers early on, and he just he led the whole thing. You expect nothing less from Harry Summers, do you?
Exactly. He's a hard worker, and he picks up $125 for his troubles as well. He finishing time, I believe, it was either 8 or 8:01. And the range that Crosby has given us has been 7:57 to 8:02. So $125 for the win, and in that time range for Harry Summers there.
Yeah, so Summers will go home $125 richer, and can stop and get a nice meal on the way home.
You think he's stopping off for a nice Palmer or a
he
pizza?
Could probably take a couple of people with him.
Yeah.
Very big thank you to the athletes, of course, for making this event.
It's good.
Thank you to all of you. Make sure you're the next one, which is really shortly before Christmas at Box Hill. And please,
So Lockie, I'm sure, will be able to get Harry Summers. We'll get a bit of an insight into his mind and how he felt about the race. Surely he'd have to be very happy with that one. Harry Summers getting back to some pretty good form. All right, Lockie, looks like you've got him.
Thank you, James. Yes, I do have the winner of that race. A gutsy run. I could see it on your face with about 3 laps to go that you were working hard there. Talk us through it.
Oh, my face looks up from start to finish. So, yeah, great event. Like, I mean, I haven't done many 3Ks, so my 3K PBs before that was 8:17. So it's great to hit out a good 3K in this perfect conditions today, and really well organised. You know, there was not like massive breaks in between each event, so you could get your warm up in and your strides in. So yeah, fantastic day for running. Yeah,
it's what we love about Victorian Milers Club, and I think that's why it attracts such high profile runners like yourself. We were saying, and the guys were saying in commentary, senior athletes don't get a whole lot of opportunities to run the 3K. So is that sort of one of the reasons why you chose to run tonight?
Well, I'm starting to pick up a bit of speed in training and just starting to train for some 5K events. So a 3K is a great hit out before the 5K. So I'm doing Vic Champs 5K next week. So this is a great, like, nice little hit out before the 5K.
What will you be going for in that?
It depends if the pace was on. So I mean, the pace was. We had 2 pacemakers in this 3K, so which was fantastic. You don't usually get that, but hopefully, win it and go under 14 for 5K. Yeah.
And where can we expect you later on in the season? What are your goals?
Hopefully, I'll go overseas next year and go to the US and try and go under 28 minutes there for 10K and try and qualify me for World Champs and the Olympics year after, yeah. So.
Well, we'll let you go. We'll let you catch your breath again. Congratulations. 8:01 flat, we believe. So the clock didn't quite stop, but 8:01, a fantastic time. Good luck for next weekend, and we do look forward to seeing you later on in the season on the track.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks, mate.
And I think we will bring back in the commentators up there, Michael, Lyndon and James. Thank you for that. Great commentary. I just sat here all night just listening along. So thank you. Give us a bit of your highlights before we do wrap up the Victorian Milers Club Championships Meet 1.
My highlight, Locke, was seeing you watching your sister cross the finish line in first place and realising that you had to interview her, a big smile on her face. That was my highlight personally. Big comeback race from your sister as well.
No, it's good to see. I didn't think I would have to interview her, but it was one of the ones that I wasn't as nervous for, so contrary to what you just mentioned there. But yeah, a great run by her. Harry Summers, a fantastic run. And our mountain runner as well in the women's B 3,000 metres, a great run there. James, do you have any highlights?
Yeah, I think seeing Sam Russell come all the way from South Australia to win that 800 and then come pace the boys out in one of the 3Ks later, that's what Milers is all about, helping each other to run fast. So, yeah, I was really pleased to see that. And
we're always fortunate, of course, to have James and Michael up there, but also an Olympian in Lyndon. Lyndon, did you have any highlights from the meet?
Oh, I loved the finish of the girls' 3K. Those girls really went for it that last lap, and yeah, great to see some really fast times they were rewarded with.
Okay, well, we will wrap it up there. We do have the second Victorian Milers Club meet in December, which we will be broadcasting live from Box Hill Athletics Track here on Athletics Exclusive. As mentioned a little bit earlier on in the stream, we have started a Patreon account. For those at home, we do all do this for free. So all our commentators there do give up all their time, all our producers, all our directors, our camera people. So if you did want to help support and hopefully grow what we do here, we do encourage you to jump on Patreon if you'd like. Our streams will always be free, so don't stress. We're not going to lock them down, but if you did want to help out, patreon.com/athletics exclusive. I think that's it, so we'll wrap up the stream. Congratulations to all the athletes tonight. Thank you very much to Michael, James and Lyndon in commentary. Scott, Andrew, Raf behind the scenes, and Dave Armstrong as well on cameras. Until next time, we'll see you later.